All right. Bonus XP is go. So we're doing a loose form show today. Magebit in the house, joined by Pernasius. Bladecom also joining us here. We are going to do, again, like I said, a loose form show. We have topics stored up here to go through. We'll also just be, as I think Pernasius said, pre-recording, just shooting the shit as we go through just endurance training here. So topics are welcome from chat. If you want, feel free to input. I'll be, of course, bringing that call to arms up periodically throughout the show as people file in and file out. So yeah, welcome. Here we go. Pernasius, how you doing? How you been? I'll start off with you.
Yeah, not too bad. Last couple of days, yeah, downhill a little bit more. Took a nap before this because I thought if I don't, I'm just not going to be able to do it. So, just got up from a 2-hour nap about an hour ago. So hopefully, we'll be right and we'll get there and have a lot of fun on this double XP weekend that I've actually prepared for the first time in a long while.
You said you were doing Herblore?
Herblore and construction, basically.
Ooh,
and
double.
then I've got a bunch of those... had a lot of those skilling dummy things, so I've put them all onto Hunter. So if there's any sort of leftover, I'll just do a bit of Hunter.
You can
with those
switch them out and change them to what you want?
Yeah, no, I want to do Hunter because the other skills I like training.
I didn't know you could change the dummies into what you wanted them.
Yes.
That is news to me. That just made them such a better item.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it's an exchange like the Proteans.
Yeah,
and I think that's something new that they added. I don't think they were like that originally.
No,
but
they were not.
They could change them in the last several months. So yeah,
clearly that's pretty sweet. Yeah, that just made me actually maybe use them towards the end. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to use any items because I have no bonus XP in my skill, which I'll talk about in a bit. But first,
have you cashed in your oddments?
No, I have not.
If people do want bonus XP, if you're not using your oddments for anything, just go. You can buy stars, you can buy lamps, you can buy pulse cores. I mean, I don't really use mine for anything.
I have 22,000 oddments. Yeah, I could buy a bunch of... I could buy... What is it? The best thing to buy is...
Buy stars? Yeah, well, it depends. I mean, everyone says, I'll get pulse cores. I think for myself... stars, that way I'm getting triple
Why does
XP
everyone say get pulse cores?
Because everyone stands around popping them off.
Because everyone wants to get the bonuses.
Yes. Well, everyone wants the extra bonus off you, so yeah.
Well, I think you get bonus experience for actually using it for the time. Like, you get 100% additional bonus than just, kind of leeching off other people.
Okay. I like pulse cores, and I generally go for the pulse cores myself because they're pulsy, and I like them. I don't know. It's just, I get a lot of bonus XP generally from other things, but not in agility. So, I do have the pulse cores in my bank. I'm saving them more towards the end when I'm desperate for XP, and I want to see my XP per hour go higher. But I have 22,000 oddments here. I could turn them into more.
Or I think can you get Silverhawks with those as well?
I have plenty of Silverhawk feathers. I don't.
You do? Fair
I
enough.
5,000 Silverhawk feathers stored up here. I'm good to go.
And I just hit 80 million Herblore XP.
Very nice. Very nice. What do you think I should do? I'm open to suggestions as far as what to do.
I really haven't looked. Yeah, I haven't looked at pulse cores that much, so I will sort of bow out and sort of say Bladecom's probably going to be more knowledgeable on what's better with bonus XP or pulse cores.
Speaking of Bladecom, I'll hand the mic over and say how you doing, Bladecom. What's been going on with you, and feel free to answer Pern's question along with that if you'd like.
Sure. I mean, I've been good. I'm doing Herblore pretty much all this week. I got like 10k overloads to make just to get back to PVM. But as far as because I think with bonus XP you get like what, a medium star for like 100.
Yes, I believe so.
I think for 125 you get the pulse core, and the medium star is only giving you like maybe 18k agility XP, where the pulse core is 100% bonus for like 10 minutes plus an additional like 2% or something like that. So I think the pulse core is just generally going to be your better.
Okay, cool. That's what I went with. That's what I went with last time, and I think I will. I think I'll go with that. Thank you, Lord Phoenix and Fifi Pie for the follows. Appreciate that. And yeah, I think I'm going to go with the pulse cores. I'll do that right now.
Okay. I thought pulse cores gave 10%, not 100%. So there you go. See, I know nothing.
When they explode, they give a good amount of XP too, don't they? Let me. Hey, let's see here. I'm gonna just screw everything up. I'm gonna buy X, and then I'm just gonna do that. This will cost.
Let me examine here. So, a powerful item grants you 150% bonus XP while active. Once it consumes, it will explode, giving you 10% experience.
So that's when you get the 10%, but it gives you 150 while you're wearing them, right?
Yes.
And yeah, so it has that. I also have to toggle on agility XP, or I will get absolutely nothing while I'm wearing it. Oh, it is actually on. Okay, good for me. I'm not completely inept. Apparently, I was using pulse cores at some point in time for agility. Anyway, let me bring up...
so do you use them one at a time, or do you just load them all on at once?
I mean, you load them all on at once, and they pop one at a time.
Yeah, they have like a certain amount of like XP cap or cooldown before you can like use another.
Okay, good. So you're not sort of wasting if you just load them all in at once.
Yeah, you can just double them all on. I have, like I said, a few in the bank. Didn't realize I'd been following until I went to see if you were streaming. Cool. Welcome. Yeah, so I'll save a few for, tomorrow or whenever. I hope I don't pop all these today. I used most of my my build up on construction, which is thankfully over, but not over because I still haven't got the pet. Not that I've been trying very hard. I haven't put any effort in, really, to be honest.
No, I'm in that same boat. I think last time me and you both did construction, and neither one of us got the pet.
Yeah.
I've got the pet.
Go away. I
am master of all.
I know. You basically just stole my dreams out from underneath me.
Well, I was actually, and I was happy because my goal at the start of last year, obviously, was to have it by the end of 2018.
To stole Management Streams from underneath him, and I succeeded.
And it didn't look like I was going to get it, and then all of a sudden, bang, 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 the last couple of pets did.
Yeah, that's kind of, I was hoping for a miracle moment like that, too. And then you Hail Married it, and I was like, yeah, that's what I was hoping for. Good job. No, I'm happy for you. That was awesome. That's exactly what I was going for. I'm glad one of us got it.
Yeah.
That's one of us got it on camera. That's all that matters.
The problem is, though...
Yeah.
Now I don't, when I'm training skilling, there's sort of no wow moment that I'm going for.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Once you've got all the pets unlocked, it's like, okay. Now I've got them all,
That's one of the reasons why I'm like not a little bit slowing down, but like I'm kind of almost cherishing the moment that I've had a bit to slow down here. Or my grandmother's taken a little bit of my time here, and I'm not upset about it or anything because I'm getting close to 120 and all, and that's gonna take a bit of kind of like bang out of the game for me. And like it's not that I don't want to be 120 and all, but it's that max cape syndrome thing all over again, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's like it's gonna be that all over again.
Yeah, max cape was bad for me because it's like, okay, I've got it. Now what do I do? And I was really lost in the game for quite a few weeks after that because I had all the quests. I had my max cape, and then a little while after that, they brought out the master quest cape, which was great. I've got that as a goal now. But yeah, it's really hard because when you do have a goal and once you achieve it, it's like, what do I do now?
Right? Exactly. Wow. My comment. I commented on the Divine-O-Matic post for Shawnee, where he replied to everyone.
I liked it personally. Yeah.
I do too. As far as it's always lost on death now, right?
Yep.
So I personally said this is a great. Oh, all right. I personally, I didn't just say it's a great update. This is personally a much needed update for the game. I said this update is metal as fuck, and it's like. it's gone. I can't it got so downvoted. Like I can't even find it. It's just like
no, it's at the very bottom. I know where it is.
Yeah.
It's the last one.
Yeah.
Just go right to the end, and there's mate with minus 4,722 karma.
All my comment karma has just been annihilated in that.
It's hard to think like that update happened Monday, but it feels like because of double XP like happening now, it feels like it was like last week or something like that.
I know.
Well, that's where I think they screwed everyone over as well. They've done it right before Double XP weekend, and I think that's hurt a lot of people as well. And I mean, you're right; it was definitely needed.
Yes.
I
Yes.
really think it should have been announced on the sort of month ahead. Say, hey, listen, guys,
Yes,
we've looked into this. Is what's going on. This is why we're doing it. The problem Jagex has, and what we've said all along, is when they do these things that are controversial. They try to, it's not so much they try and just sneak it under the rug, but it's just like they're oblivious. Oh, yeah, we need to do this, so we'll just throw it out there. People will understand, and they've got to know their community by now. You know, they don't understand. You take something off them, and they scream like a baby, that's just lost its dummy.
I was super surprised by the amount of negativity towards that.
You were?
Like, I expected it to be go down bad, but like the way people were so against it just kind of blew me away. And I mean, it didn't help that there was like 2 other like smaller updates that happened in that patch that kind of made people like upset. But oh my god, I did not like Monday.
I don't blame you. The fact that it was not included in the main update, I think, was really their big strikeout. I think that's probably what's fueled the fire. But I mean, also they destroyed a huge AFK money making economy that skillers have been abusing the crap out of for years, and it needed to stop. Because
let's have a look. Incandescent energy is 170 GP.
It's ruining. Yeah, they were destroying their own economy. That's the thing is, skillers sometimes are willing to suck themselves dry. That sounds kind of weird, but it's true. And there's a balance that needs to be struck if you want to live in this world. Like if you want to have a happy relation, if you want to be a skiller, you have to give and take at the same time. You can't just have your cake and shove it down your gullet constantly. It doesn't work like that. It's
the anniversary cake only comes out once a year, and you only get it for
a reason.
But I was just reading some of those posts, and it's just it kind of just blew me away. Like everyone's saying, it has such high requirements. It's such a long-standing achievement to get this X item, and they wrote it. It's now dead content. It's no, you can still use it at the tier 90 spot, and it's just as it's fine.
I use mine. I've never ever been into the wilderness. The only time I went to the wilderness cursed energy was to unlock the achievement, whatever you had to do down there. I've never set foot there again. I only use mine at Incandescence out in.
I'm a hipster.
Out at there.
I am so cool. I lost my vacuum before it was cool to lose your vacuum. All right, I got PK'd and lost my vacuum back when those stupid currencies went in your inventory, and apparently the vacuum's worth 4 GP, and those currencies were worth fuck you, Jack.
I remember that. I do remember
and
that.
I lost my vacuum. Luckily,
and you lost your crystal seed that time.
Yeah. The wilderness has not been kind to me. How you doing, Pure Sushi?
They say you do it, and they thought, we better fix that every time Mage dies out there. So they let Mage test it for him. When he dies, okay, we can go fix it now.
Yeah, I'm basically the crash test dummy of the wilderness. How you doing, Pure Sushi? Welcome. It's bonus XP weekend. We're loving life. Look at that big 2X in the corner there. It's amazing.
And don't you love that? Your mouse just runs out of charge.
Oh, God. I hope we have I hope you brought batteries.
It's a rechargeable one, so I'll just plug in the cable and play corded for a little while.
Oh boy.
I meant to charge it last night, and yeah, just
This is why true gamers don't use wireless crap. So you gotta.
I think the only thing I risk now in the wilderness, like just going back to that previous talk, I think I risk like the crystal seed and the urn enhancer whenever I do like my farm runs.
That's fair. I've died and lost my urn enhancer before. That's. I died and lost my urn enhancer to Abbey Demons, and I thought that it was a degradable item, and I just never made a new one because I died and lost it, and it's just always lost on death apparently. And but I thought it was a degradable item because of that, so I just never made a new one just because I'm stupid. So that's a thing, you know. Oh man, you know, RuneScape. It's a complex game for dumb people like me. That's what I love about this game. You can literally learn new things every day.
So I learned that the Dragon Fire Amulet, the one that you improves your Dragon Fire breath, that doubles your prayer XP for Dragon Bones. Did you know?
Yeah. But only Dragon Bones.
Yeah, I was completely baffled when I heard that, like, yesterday, because of double XP.
Oh yeah, but is it only? It's only burying them, or oh no,
it works for Bone Crusher.
Yeah. Yeah, where's the bone? Oh yeah, where's the Bone Crusher? Okay.
Yeah, so for burying though, yes.
Yeah.
So Bone
That's
Crusher,
cool.
You are burying. It's just auto burying.
Yeah. That's still pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one of the best. Yeah.
Yeah, that necklace is kind of a niche, long forgotten item from One of a Kind. That is a good quest. Complex game for dumb people, exactly how I describe Pokemon Game Boy games. Very true. Pokemon is it's super complex if you go deep enough, but like on the surface, you can play it even if you're 5, which is kind of amazing. And now I'm nostalgic for Pokemon. I haven't owned a handheld console in literally since the big brown Game Boy. Then that's the last handheld console I owned. I still have it somewhere. It probably doesn't work, but it's in a box somewhere. Anyway, what else we got on the docket here? Oh yeah, the ailing sea monster Pern. I want to talk about that. I really want to talk about that. That was an awesome...
I've got some good feedback about that too.
Yeah.
People seem to like it, so...
I really like it. I want to pop that open here. Hang on. Here it comes, firing up the... All right. Do you want me to read it? How do you want to go about this?
No, I can read it out if you like, while you're doing your agility, or...
It's up to you. We can take turns. Or you can.
Yeah. Let's let me just find it myself.
I'm good to go whenever you are.
I saved it. So this is, I mean, obviously, people who do listen to the show, last Friday we had a post from Reddit where someone was sort of talking about getting something out there for skillers, and we were just sort of shooting it around our ideas ourselves on it. So I sort of, on Monday, game update happened, and I thought, I can't be bothered logging back on, and I just sort of, this was in the back of my mind, so I thought I'd write it up. So basically I called it the Ailing Sea Monster. A proposal for a RuneScape skilling boss. So to participate, the players will need level 80 in at least one of the following skills: fishing, herblore, or hunter. Now, I also put sort of perhaps cooking and crafting if we wanted to sort of do extras in there. But I mean, I think 3 skills on a skilling boss is enough. That way, you don't need to try and find a larger group. I sort of put it down as a team between 2 and 5 players, but I'd like eventually for someone to be able to solo it as well. So anyway, once the team has been put together, the team speaks to Fisherman Jones. He's the guy who is down in the fishing guild, and he tells them of a great sea monster swimming in circles in the ocean in obvious pain, moaning in agony. He will ask the player if they would be able to help the creature. This speech will only be required the first time, and then we can either have a portal or just a right-click option on Fisherman Jones to go straight to it. So upon accepting, the team will board his boat and be taken to the Ailing Sea Monster. The creature is floating on the surface, and the players will leap from the boat into its open mouth. Once inside, the players will need to first gather the glowing algae growing on the monster's teeth. This will need to be crushed and made into a basic salve. Once the players have enough salve, they move deeper into the monster's throat. It is in this next stage that the player comes across mollusks clinging to the skin inside the monster's throat. Using their hunter skill, they need to carefully remove the mollusks without damaging the throat of the sea monster. Now there, I wasn't sure if we would use hunter or perhaps crafting, where we need to sort of like carve them off. But, you know, this is I just sort of went with hunter for the moment on this one. Mollusks will need to be removed from their shells to create a stackable mollusk bait in the player's inventory. The shells will also need to be retained for future use. Once the players have exhausted the supply of mollusks and gathered enough bait, they can move on. Moving deeper into the monster's gullet, they come across a body of water. Attempting to cross this will result in the player being attacked by the piranhasites, a small but vicious fish that has infected the belly of the creature. Using the oiled fishing rod and mollusk bait, the players must attempt to catch these and kill them quickly. Failure to kill the piranhasites will mean the fish attacks the players, dealing between 300 and 600 damage per tick. Getting bitten will also result in the player taking poison damage, which deals between 500 to 1000 damage every 6 game ticks. To kill the fish, players must click on it within 1 game tick when it is caught and landed to stab it. Failing to do so will allow the fish to leap onto you and begin its attack. To stop it attacking, the player must spam click the ground, causing themselves to fling the fish to the ground, whereupon they can stab it within the game tick. Otherwise, it escapes back into the pool. If it manages to escape, it becomes an enraged piranhasite, and the next time it is caught, all its damage is doubled. Now, I was having a chat with someone here, and they said this would be a good place, you know, to sort of start introducing where people can use abilities. And you have a couple of basic melee abilities, Stomp and Backhand. And they said, you know, maybe you could use that when the fish comes out, and that's how, you know, you stomp on it or you backhand it, which kills it. And I thought, yeah, that's sort of starting to introduce the abilities, because later on, you know, where we're going to sort of introduce defensive abilities as well. So it'll allow you to sort of build up maybe a bit of an ability bar without sort of having to introduce whole new abilities.
Interesting.
Anyway, once the pool is emptied, the player moves into the final phase of this fight. Again, Herblore is needed here to crush the piranhasites and extract its poison into the empty shells of the mollusks, which will be used in the next phase of the fight. The final phase of this fight pits the players against the 5-headed Hydra-spitting sea worm. This toxic creature crawls out of the intestine of the sea monster as the player passes the piranhasite pool. The players need to take this creature down using a fishing harpoon that is coated with the piranhasite poison they have extracted. If a player in the group has only the herblore requirements to enter the fight, they can trade the poison salve to the fisherman. The player needs to move in close to the worm and stab with the poison harpoon. They must also be careful to keep their eye on the poison buff on their harpoon, as it wears off rather quickly. To repoison the harpoon, the players just need to click on the next shell full of poison. The worm has several attacks that the players must avoid or risk taking significant damage. Its standard attack is just thrusting forward and biting the player. This can cause between 200 to 1000 damage, but isn't overly accurate, probably hitting around that 60% of the time. The first special attack is a toxic bile that the worm spits at the player. This seeps through the armor, and its initial hit can hit between 2000 and 6000 damage, but is lessened with the higher tier of fishing armors. This acts like poison, with diminishing damage done over the next 10 seconds, halving the damage each time. For example, if the first hit does 6,000 damage, the second splash 5 ticks later will do 3,000, the third hit another 4 ticks later will do 15,000, and the final hit another 4 ticks after that will do 750 damage. So the risk of death is high, although it can be avoided if the player watches closely, as the head spitting will rear back and expand as it is about to spit the bile. The second attack is in the form of a body slam. All 5 of the creature's head will rear up for slamming to the ground, stunning the player for 3 seconds and hitting between 1,000 and 4,000 damage. This can be negated using defensive abilities. The final special attack is Thrash. Occasionally the worm will begin thrashing about, its heads wildly sweeping from side to side. Any player caught within this will be knocked to the ground and stunned. There is no way to stop this stun, so the players need to be careful and move out of range of the thrashing heads to avoid the attack. Once the Hydra spitting worm is dead, the players will need to slice it up into manageable chunks and remove its corpse from the sea serpent's belly. Once it has been gathered up, the player needs to smear the algae salve on the creature's stomach walls to soothe its pain. Once this is completed, they make their way back to the mouth of the creature where Fisherman Jones is waiting. The sea creature has stopped its painful moaning and is now humming contentedly. In the boat is a treasure chest full of rewards from the sea creature for your success in helping it. Now, I've sort of suggested a few rewards here. First is basically a royal fishing scale, possibly between 5 and 20, which will be an uncommon drop.
Mm-hmm.
A super rare drop on this is a golden trident. It'll act as a level 80 harpoon for fighting the spitting sea worm. This tool can also be used for fishing and increase the chance of catching great white sharks, and a 25% stackable chance of catching 2 sharks at once when fishing. It is a super rare drop, as I said. A tradable toxic bile protector vial. This will halve the damage inflicted by the Hydra Seaworm's attack and fully block the 4th wave of damage, reducing infliction from 10 seconds to 7.5 seconds. It'll be a common drop. A range of other rewards, perhaps things like the uncut onyx and other gems, crystal and muddy keys, battle staves, fishing brawlers, coins and salvage. Access to Hazelmere's signet ring if you're wearing the Luck of the Dwarves. Perhaps there could be a special shield that could be used down here that will help negate extra damage. I want, pretty decent XP for the skills used. Obviously not the best in-game rates, but decent enough to encourage players to try this out and use it as an alternative for risk versus reward play. Now, equipment required. A new suit of armor designed for the ocean. This will make use of either black or royal dragonhide armor, which will need to be coated in a combination of crushed blue jellyfish and mixed with torsal herbs. Now, it says sort of 50 blue jellyfish and 10 torsal herbs, sort of all crushed together to create a special oil. That will protect the players while inside the ailing monster. This black or royal fishing armor will offer level 60 or 70 defense respectively for the player. Without this armor, the player will die very quickly inside the sea monster. Royal fishing armor can be upgraded to a level 80 superior version by using an uncommon or even rare drop from this boss, the Royal Fish Scales. It will require level 80 crafting to attach and is degradable. Repair cost should be more scales, around 25% of the original number needed to create. The superior version is also augmentable. An oiled crystal fishing rod. This will be made with green jelly and fellstalk herbs and is the best choice here as it will catch the items faster. However, a standard oiled fishing rod will suffice, although it will be longer and slower to complete the boss. Also a crystal harpoon, level 70, required for the final phase in attacking the spitting sea worm. Also available should be an attuned crystal harpoon as a level 80 tool, which could be augmentable. This is obviously just the first draft, and it'll have to be tweaked and adjusted here and there, but possible to have the risk versus reward skilling boss in game. Yes, many of the mechanics remain similar to combat, but we don't have to reinvent the wheel. If something works, don't fix it. Just adapt it to new uses that will benefit other sectors of the player base. Skillers have been calling for their own boss for years now, and concepts like these need to be looked at and reviewed constructively to see what can be used. So that was basically sort of my first draft of a skilling boss using a few of the different skills in game.
Actually, Cat's saying the trident sounds tight. 25% sounds OP though, unless you don't get the XP for the second catch.
Yes, yeah. Obviously, no XP.
Cool.
That's
cool.
It's just for people who, and I mean, don't forget at sort of mid-level sharks, people don't really fish them that much anymore. What I'm hoping to see though eventually is as they're taking sort of skilling drops off bosses, this will help those mid-tier people as, when mobile and such comes in and hopefully we attract a lot more players, you're going to have more people down there fishing and such. And, just something to go for and aim for. And, maybe even if you have it in your inventory.
Give people more tools to get mass items into the game to discourage bots, And, if we're going to take items off of drop tables, give skillers the tools to rein these items in instead,
Yes,
but
exactly.
make them obtainable through tough feats like these skilling bosses. Don't just hand them to them,
And to be,
That's right, and that's what I like about sort of
Go-
that type of thing. You have to earn these things.
yeah, and to be frank, like extra 25% extra chance for like white sharks or great white sharks aren't like a huge deal, especially since like the XP and like GP for sharks are pretty low anyways.
Yeah,
So I don't see that as a problem. The one suggestion I would have is instead of it being like a Hazelmere ring as like the hero item, maybe have an opportunity for the red map or a treasure map.
Oh, that'd be cool. Like, yeah, a way
that's
to get
yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, that was something I think Thieves threw in. Why can't with the rods that I use, could I give a use to Tavia's rod, where Tavia's rod would be the best rod to use in there, and that would be also an extra thing there. If the Luck of the Dwarves, if you get that red map, you get that Tavia's rod, which is useful in this fish. So yeah, good idea.
Yeah, I mean, you figured like those maps themselves are worth like 800k.
800k, yeah.
Yeah, the green ones. So I mean, that's a good drop anyway.
Yeah, no, I like that. Excellent idea. Let me just note that down.
Nice. Yeah, that was a fantastic expansion on that quick little idea we had on the show. Like, super job. Super
Red
job.
map. Yep. Yeah, I want to try and get this together. I want to do a proper sort of presentation and hopefully send it into Jagex and see if I can sort of generate a little bit of interest in it.
Yeah, I would definitely. If you can get this, this is what I was told by former Mod Infinity. If you can get an idea to make it to the front page of Reddit, the mods will listen.
Yeah.
That's the and that's
they can take this and present it as their own idea. I don't care. I just want to skill. I mean, if they said, "Hey, listen," they took this as a basic idea and adjusted it and redid it to the way they want it done, and claimed it as their own, I wouldn't care. I just want a skilling bossing game.
Well, here's the thing. But Pern, I think you have a shot with this. This idea is really good. I think if you put the polish on it and put it in a nice PDF presentation form with actual like bullet point forms, and maybe if we put, if we got a graphics designer, which I will commission a graphics designer if I have to. We'll pull resources, man. We'll put a nice presentation together, and we'll get to the top of Reddit, even if we have to get there the hard way. Anyway. Let's find some more posts to talk about. Excuse me. Player-owned farms. This is an interesting one. I like this. First of all, these are one of my favorite types of literature. Mechanics, arguments, things. Player-owned farms are to farming to what sinkholes are to dungeoneering and caches are to divination. Currently, player-owned farms is easily the most efficient way to train farming. Trees and fruit tree seed prices are crashing due to less and less people using them. The whole skill has turned into a distraction and diversion like dungeoneering and divination. I don't disagree.
No, and actually, to add on to that, this whole week, because of like the Divine Nomadic change, I've seen a lot of posts like this, like a lot of quality, like integrity, like, which has been super nice. I think I actually posted on this one before too. Like,
I am glad to see this, and you know what, this is one of the reasons why I am not wearing my farming cape when I got 120 farming, and I wore it for like a week, and I was like, okay, in the closet with you, because I was like, the farm is glorious as it is and as it could be. The XP is not what it's supposed to be. It's
way too much.
Way too much.
I basically farm herbs and do my farm run twice a day.
I stopped farming.
I went from under 80 mil to over 104 mil. In that time farming has been out.
I just do my farm runs. I mean, I just do my herb runs now. Like, now that I'm 120, I just do my herb runs again. I will not touch. I won't touch the farm because it's just XP, and I have no need for that at 120.
Well, see, I just enjoy growing the animals and such. Well, I'm trying to.
I agree with you. I'm trying
to be best breed.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm making a statement. It's.
No,
I'm angry because it's too much XP. I'm a skiller pern. They're killing me. They're drowning me in my own
this
love.
This is exactly why I wanted the player-owned farm to be the 99 to 120 elite version of the skill.
Yeah, ranching.
You know, this
ranching.
would have been perfect. Well, not even that. This could have been taking farming to 120.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I get you.
I mean, the way like player-owned farm is designed currently is it kills any supplementary like farming XP. Like, there's no real reason to do like tree runs or farm.
Do you think that was their intention?
No, I don't.
No.
I think like it was supposed to be like I think player-owned farm was supposed to be supplementary to your other like farming techniques.
Yep.
But because of like the breeding change, it really became the skill. And like I still do farm runs like for money. Like I'll still do my 20-minute like farm run of like every other profitable money making thing of it. But it's not something like anyone else is going to do anymore. Like, you're not going to see like people that get into farming now like look at crop farming past like level.
That's so sad, because that's also a great part of farming. Like, and I mean, like it's part of farming as far as I love farming as a skill, and I think people. Damn it, I missed that agility shortcut. I feel like people should also enjoy that if you like farming. Like, you should have that option of being able to enjoy it if you want to, XP wise. But if you're going for best XP, then you're forced to ignore it. And that makes me sad to an extent, but hey, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, shit happens.
I think the because the farm is so fun and you know, it's a nice activity. They didn't need to give away as much XP as they did, and I mean, we can tell just by the price of seeds. I mean, yeah, all the high end seed prices are more than halved in value. It's a great update, but again, it's the same as with safe cracking. I mean, the thieving skill becomes safe cracking. Thieves, who is one of our listeners and a clan member, made a normal Iron Man on 2 days ago. He went from 1 to 60 thieving in 5 hours. He just went down to the farm, basically sat on the manure pile down there, and went from 1 to 25 farming in a couple of hours. You know, it's just they've brought in these AFK methods or these sort of different methods which were supposed to enhance the skill and be supplementary to the skill, but have basically taken over the skill. Yeah.
And that's the problem right there. I don't have any problem with AFK, and I don't have any problem with supplementing the skill. But taking over the skill is what's the issue, is when there's no other reason to do anything else. That's the line. It. Good? Playcom?
Yep.
And, like, I guess 2 other points to it is that even things that they did add with the farm, like the beehives, like I was telling you, that's like a free 16k farming XP a day. You know, that's great. You know, you can do that level 17. But you can also wait for like a Jinchompa to go to an adult stage and get the same exact amount of XP, or a little bit more actually. Like, it's just a little weird.
Yeah.
And like they just keep pushing us like to 120, and I don't get it. Like, we're still capped at 99, but like clearly this is designed to like push us way beyond that.
Yeah, I don't understand the XP balancing. Just doesn't seem to make much sense. And are they trying to just push us to 120? Like, is that the point? Because
get everyone at 120 and over to old school.
Because they keep saying that they don't want us to 120. Like, there's no content at 120, and 99 is the end of the game. But like, then they give us XP rates like this. So like, I don't get it. What is it, Jagex?
And that's why I've always said these big skilling updates need to be the ones that take everything to 120. You know, that's why. I mean, smithing should have been, you know, the smithing update's fantastic, but all that masterwork stuff should have been sort of the 99 to 120. The player-owned farm should have been the 99 to 120. The thieving should have been the safe cracking should have been the 99 to 120. deep sea fishing is fantastic, but you don't see anyone anywhere else anymore fishing, and that's good because they wanted the community sort of together. But again, you could have had higher end stuff, which takes it from 99 to 120. I mean, the thing is, it's only 11 levels, so it's not like you have to create a ton of extra content in between those levels. If you have something that people aim for that sort of is every second level or every third level, there's sort of something else to aim for. Yes, I mean the XP rates, the XP gap between each level gets higher and higher. But if you're getting sort of a creature that's or something that's giving you that extra XP to make up for that gap, then that's what they've got to do. And unfortunately, this is part of the problem of the completionist mentality, where no, we don't want to do that because it's going to take us too long to get that comp and get our capes back and such. And I think that's where they hurt themselves with with the completionist cape, as they call it. And this overhaul of it should really fix all that up, where hopefully it'll become just a cosmetic cape, and they'll have a proper best in slot PVM cape and a proper best in slot skilling cape and things like that. And you don't need to worry about but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Action Cat saying, this is a reoccurring theme: deep sea fishing, safe cracking, etc., etc. These big skilling updates would be better if designed with 120 expansion in mind. I agree.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly what I've called for all along.
But they don't want to do it because it seems like, I mean,
Mod Ramen complains about it.
It's all Mod Ramen's fault, is it?
It is. He's the PVM guy at the moment. He's the one who
gets all the blame.
That's it.
It just feels weird because going from 99 to 120 isn't really satisfying until you hit 120. Because there's just nothing to unlock or really do besides the same content.
Yep, and if they made those things in between there and gave you those unlocks, you've got that sense of achievement.
Right? Approachicity saying, mining and smithing a SOAF cable down 99 felt much easier than it should have been.
But smithing is now fantastic. I mean, smithing is a fun skill now. I enjoy doing smithing. Yeah, mining is fun. I can click on the rock. I can basically, my mining is AFK and my smithing is when I'm sitting there sort of watching the screen. Yeah, when you get those little sound for the opportunity and the little Seren stone, Seren spirit popping up and things.
The only thing I'm not thrilled about is Masterwork. I feel like we got screwed on Masterwork because Mod Ramen had to have his money in the PVM.
Yep.
But
that's where we really need to get away from this mentality of we've got to protect all the PVM stuff. No, it's his fault.
I don't know.
It's always been it's been his fault ever since he said, "Oh no, we're not having a new weapon on that thing." That's blatantly lied to us.
It's ever since war.
Everything's Ramen's fault. No, I mean I do like Ramen, and I mean I can understand he wants to make sure that his sort of play base and the ones that he sort of provides content for, remain happy and things. But you are better off sometimes pissing off 10 or 20% of people than 80% of the people. The problem with skillers is we just sit back and take it. They say bend over, we go, yes sir, how far do you want us to spread? Whereas a PVM is saying, no freaking way, and turn around and want to stab you in the throat. We've got to try and get that balance back between the two, and the mining and smithing rework, taking those things off the drop table, was excellent. I know a lot of people have screamed about all the things, stone spirits aren't worth it, it's this, it's that and such. Okay, you've lost 10 or 15% of your money making sides, but really you're making 25%.
117 agility
stuff anyway. Rats.
Rats. But even with the stone spirits, you can say 20% is taken away from PVM, but then mining is actually worth doing, and so is smithing. There's actual money to be had there.
Yes.
I don't know. It's you're redistributing wealth to another place, and I think that's perfectly fine.
It's taking it out of all that top end and giving it to other people.
I agree. And I'm being petty.
Action Cat says, can there be a quick PS on your skilling boss proposal? By the way, please put Malevolent Essence in Geodes. Yeah, I mean, I've called for that in Geodes. There's also, I've got 3 skilling style things that I'm looking at. One is the sort of like an evil ent, which is just a high, similar to the evil trees that sort of pop up, but sort of a lot more involved and things like that with different skills. And also, I was thinking, with the since we're going on to this, that something like the mining shafts that we wanted, that could be like a skilling style boss as well, where you've got to go down, mine certain sections, be careful of things that can blow up on you, and a chance of reward at the end of that is going to be the malevolent and Prey Soul essence that comes out of it, and giving skillers a chance to get those as drops with that high risk, high reward type thing. That's where we should be looking and bringing that in and allowing us, allowing skillers to have
Mine
the
shafts
chance.
2020, get shafted.
Yep. But no, they're two other ideas that I've sort of got notes on, and I want to sort of write up and present as well. So anyway, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I mean, they really nowadays, and I think they're also scared to take skills to 120 with the mobile update sort of they're trying to get out, and scaring people all of a sudden. From 99 13 mil, they're going to be asking people to go to 104 mil. I don't think people coming into the game are going to care about that. In all honesty,
I'm gonna change my name to Shaft and run for office.
I'm sorry, I got distracted.
No, it's okay.
I think part of it is a lot of PVM stuff, because monsters are so weak that if you push other skills to like the 120, which really in turn like benefit combat, like mining and smithing, like if you make that to like 120, like it really is supposed to like fill into like the melee combat. I don't think they want like
Did the in-game chat box break?
Mine's working.
Nah, for my stream.
oh your the Twitch Twitch.
But I mean, the thing is, you can have cap damage. You can put cap damage on that armor. Where on older bosses, I bring out a level 95 armor, but against Grador, it caps at level 80 damage on him. So it's only really designed for those newer bosses. And if you want to take it down there, well and good. But you are only going to get sort of level 80 cap damage and things on it. I mean, there are workarounds for that type of thing that aren't hard to implement when you sort of are fighting a certain level boss and things like that. So
I think it evolves more with not just bossing. I think it's more about like the regular creatures, like Eruds or Abyssal Demons and things like that. Because we have all those type of lower creatures, and we don't have enough of those high level creatures that probably need like this higher gear level to actually fight or be AFK or.
But that's why they've taken Slayer to 120. So let's introduce, and again, you can have caps on where this stuff can be used and worn and such, and they just need to bite the bullet and sit back and look at different things, and not just there's no use just doing the same thing over and over again. And sometimes you have to start thinking outside the box, make some changes. People are going to jump up and down and scream for a little while, but once you've got it in, if you've done it right and it plays well, the community will settle down really quick and run with it.
I'm trying to think of when the last time we even got Slayer creatures was. I think it was the Stalker creatures from like January.
Creatures,
yeah, that was January last year.
The Stalker creatures were after the those fairy ones around Solak, weren't they?
Yeah, Lost Grove and stuff.
Lost Grove, yeah.
In regards to the festive aura, it's just a cosmetic at this point, right?
Yeah, Christmas time is when it activates.
Yeah, December.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Oh, actually, that reminds me. That we get something for the
Premiere?
The Premiere, don't we? I should be using. I haven't actually ever used that.
Yep, you can.
I bought that, but I haven't used it. Where is it? I don't even know where I've put it. What's it called?
The Premiere artifact. It's in your bank, or it's either with Diango or
artifact. There it
somewhere.
is.
I'm gonna.
So what do I do? Do I wear this?
No, you just click it to activate, and then
benefits.
Yeah, it'll give you the list.
Okay. 50 sign or refresh, extra 10p. Does that the extra 10% will work today, won't it?
Yes.
Beautiful. Activate.
No worries, Perticity. It's all about experimentation.
Done.
I
Thank you
expect,
for.
yeah, I expect next year we'll get an aura because they'll probably replace whatever the
They'll probably
I think it was
fix-
Hellion aura.
Yeah, they'll probably delete that and replace it with something. Why didn't they just do that this time?
Oh, I'll bring back the Margaret aura. Like I got
Because
a lot of
they would overlap at one point. Like
oh,
it's stupid. Like we're at our
I get you. I get you. I know.
we're at a cap for auras.
Yeah,
so,
I get you. Why didn't they just delete the Aegis-aura? No one uses it. Or the knockout aura or something. I don't know. Ah.
Yeah,
Stupid.
if you're
People are still
expecting auras. Sorry.
No, you go.
I'm saying, like, if you're expecting auras this year or anytime soon, yeah, don't, because they literally hit their integer cap with it.
I can't believe that they're using a 255 friggin' int cap.
I can, because they're still working on a 32-bit system, and I don't know anyone who still has a 32-bit computer.
It just blows my mind that... I mean, it doesn't completely blow my mind. It just frustrates me a little
Like, when
bit.
did Loyalty come out? Like,
2012? 2013? 2012.
2012, when they bought out MTX, basically.
Yeah.
man, I feel like they should have future-proofed
you
that
would-
way.
No, go ahead. You would think. Like, that's been what? Almost a decade. A little less, but almost.
Well,
7 years. But I mean,
yeah.
what I laugh about, everyone's calling they want the Margaret aura back. You promised you'll bring that back. Well, they never promised. They said they'd look at it. And that was so OP. If they ever brought that back, they're going to have to really nerf it. And then people will scream about it being nerfed.
As far as I'm concerned, it's never won a winning.
Wait, maybe... Okay, because the auras used to be items, right? They used to just be inventory items.
Yep.
So I think it was when they did the rework for the aura inventory management thing. That's when they decided to do 255.
All right,
Oh, wow. So last year.
So somebody...
Holy crap, Jay.
somebody effed up last year.
That is funny. Oh, that person surely got their walking papers.
All right. Well, let's think about that. Not necessarily, because it was clearly they had to work within the limitations of the engine when they were creating the aura system, right? So they had to think about, all right, how can I make a shitty aura system that is going to work where I can turn these dumb auras not
actually,
into
no.
items.
I might be wrong because of that shopkeeper, the aura shopkeeper.
Oh,
the old guy.
Juan, yeah,
Yeah, he might have because of him. There might be a limit. That might be the reason.
Because you can delete them. He stores them.
Yeah,
That's how I used to do
probably
it. I used to kill them out of my bank and just go to him to grab them.
There you go. There we go. Mystery solved.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, it's just some of the things that are in the game just make you shake your head and think why.
Yeah. I mean, my blood pressure is probably like through the roof right now. Just thinking about RuneScape. It's a miracle.
I wish I was a game designer.
No, you don't.
I would make something similar to this and just make it the way I want it done.
Game designers.
Then get sued by Jagex for copying their
Game
IP.
designers live short, stressful lives.
I've been having Runescape on my mind all week because of double XP, and just like weird things like just keep popping through my head. Like I was thinking about Lunar Spellbook. Like why are those spells so like just stuff like that, you know?
I've been purposefully trying to not think about RuneScape, but then thinking about RuneScape, but trying not to think about RuneScape so I'd be fresh to play for the weekend. If that makes any sense?
Yeah,
but like
I've actually not played much this week in all preparation, and then yesterday and today just so sore. I'm thinking, you're freaking kidding me. I've done the right thing, all rested up, not been doing my walking, doing everything, and then you go and make me, today, feel crap.
Right? It's the worst. Life is the worst. No, it's not. Life is grand. Life is a grand piano on my fucking back. That's what life is. I mean, happy vibes. Ugh. My grandmother this morning was a nutcase. Oh, she can't tell time anymore. So anytime she wants to go somewhere, she has to be there like immediately. Like you tell her it's 10, we're leaving at like 11 o'clock. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning, and she's like, we gotta go, and it's like, it's not for like 2 hours, but she's like, we gotta go now, and it's frustrating. So that's why I was not present until like literally right before the show. But man,
yeah, I was worried. I thought, oh geez, Mage isn't on. Did I miss it? Because I come on.
That you're man. Oh.
And I think, oh.
You are lucky I am medicated, Magebit, these days. The old Magebit would have just been like, fuck it, I'm going back to bed. But I was like, nope. I saw both of you in the live, and I was like, all right, here we go. But, yeah, oh my gosh, she was the poor thing. We got lucky, actually. The poor thing was literally punching the door because she wanted to go. She was having a temper tantrum. She wanted to go out so badly. So we're like, all right, fine. So we all left to take her to church, which is where she was going to fold the programs for the Sunday service. And there's going to be no one there. That's the thing. Like, that's what we're trying to tell her, is there's going to be no one there, and that's the problem. So we're figuring is we're going to just be sitting outside the church for an hour and a half waiting now. And I'm not going to, I'm basically going to be stuck there until 10 o'clock. But I'll be testing RuneScape Mobile Beta, just like they want me to. But luckily, by happenstance, the receptionist's daughter had a recital, and she had to be in early to school, so she was in early to work, which she works obviously at the church. So she was there to open the door to let my grandmother in, so she was there to be there. So I was there to I was there to drop her off and got back home, and that's how I was able to be here on time. Well, late, but on time. But holy shit, like, that actually worked out. But I wanted to put my head in a frying pan that was full of hot oil, but instead, here I am, streaming.
I'm going to be back in just 1 sec. One of my pups is going nuts.
Cool.
Well, I'm glad you're able to at least make it today. But I wanted to also mention they are doing more beta for the... Like, more people are getting invites now.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that more people are getting invites. This is this beard by Birchbox. This is a lot of beard oil has gone into this beard. I'm glad to hear more invites are going out. I was worried that maybe that they were going to rescind my invite or something if I didn't start beta testing. That email seemed quite stern. They were like, you should log in. So I did. I did for at least like 30 minutes. Did some agility, and I'll probably do some more when I have to go. I have to leave around noon to go out and do some errands and whatnot. I gotta go pick her up and gotta go into the city and whatnot. What's going on, Death Star? How you doing, buddy? We are having a sweet bonus XP weekend. I'll pull up my good old show topic bin here. Figure out what's going on.
I'm back. I think one of the neighbours has just got home, and he's staggering around out there drunk, making noise. So all the dogs in the neighbourhood are now going off.
Nah, dogs don't like drunk people very much.
No.
Yeah. What's this first? I have this. We got here. General? No.
Do you got any of the wilderness topics that came out today? Or this week?
Throw one at me if you got one. I haven't gone to Reddit today. Or really... Let's see here.
Let me see if I can find a good one. But basically, there's been a lot of clamoring about, like, removing the wilderness again. Just because of the Divino Mag stuff. But like, some of it's been actually, like, good conversations about, like, how the wild doesn't really suit, like, RS3 these days.
which what we've been saying for the last 3 years
Right.
and given them lots of ideas about. Yeah. While you look for that, I'll read over this week's updates if you like.
Go for it.
While you look for it, yeah. So Treasure Trail improvements. If you're a RuneScape member and have not yet got involved with Treasure Trail's fun, this is the perfect time to do so. Keep an eye out for the clue scrolls that are dropped by monsters, found in chests, obtained from various skills, or even pickpocketed from ham members. And just a little caveat there: if you are after fortunate components, pickpocket ham members and do the easy clues. They're really good for fortunate components. Anyway, today, after almost a year after the big Treasure Trails update, we've revisited Treasure Trails and making a few improvements. Those looking to learn more about Treasure Trails and keeping their eye on their own clue-solving performance can learn more by seeking out Zeta and her pet yak Nigel. She can be found southwest of the Grand Exchange's southern gate. Here's a look at some of the changes we made to clue scrolls. Players will now be able to downgrade several clue scrolls at a time via Zeta up to a cap of 25. So there you go, DX. You can change all those master clues down to elites that you wanted to do.
Poor DX.
I just couldn't believe when he did that. Taking a trip on the magic carpet will no longer stop clue scrolls from scanning, and the chance of swapping clues swapping or progressing into the same clue has been significantly reduced. This change has been made with particular thought for those using the Globetrotter outfit. Mining and smithing. Artisan's Workshop Respect Enhancer will now consume 1 charge and double the respect for each 0.25 respect earned when an item is made in the workshop. Mining crablets will no longer deplete stamina, meaning that they can be mined AFK, as was previously the case prior to the mining and smithing rework. However, their XP return has also been reduced. An ore box can now be used on a deposit box in a similar fashion to a gem bag or coal bag to empty the ore's box contents into your bank without depositing the entire ore box. That's a great update for that. One of the most frustrating things is if you had your ore box trying to put it into one of those bank deposits, so they did fix that up. So yeah, so
they managed to do that without ruining the game engine. I'm proud.
Yeah. Well, I just copied basically straight off the coal bag and gem bag.
Oh.
One thing I'm still disappointed about, when that first came out, I could use two ore boxes at once and fill them both up. And then a week later, they said, "Oh no, we can't do that." Yet they allowed them to keep the those rune pouches when see, that's the thing. PVM jump up and down and scream and they get their way. The skillers say, "Oh, okay, if that's the way it is, that's it," and we just sort of just take it. We should have started a riot like they did, and we might have got it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, Game Blast, it's been known for RuneScape and Old School to exchange the odd scowl and to perhaps hurt the occasional sandwich across the occasional sandwich across the playground at one another. But such is the power of Game Blast that both eras of RuneScape are joining forces. Game Blast 2019 takes place this weekend, 22nd to the 24th of February, and streamers from both the RuneScape and Old School camps are joining forces to raise money for the incredibly wonderful charity Special Effect. We're sure you know all about the very important work Special Effects does, but there is a link there if you want to go onto it, and they've got their big, on their main page, they've got the schedule everyone is doing. You can donate to the United Communities of RuneScape Game Blast here. There's a link there for everyone to do. That's also the page to find out more information about the very exciting RuneScape Game Blast eBay auctions and on all the details on how to get involved with the RuneScape activities. And if you want to go the extra mile, then it's not too late to sign up yourself. Game Blast is the perfect way to have fun and raise money to level the playing field for people with physical disabilities. It's an event that genuinely changes lives, and we're so very proud of the massive contributions the RuneScape community has made in the past. And just before we go on, I want to give Jagex a big shout out, because several years that they have been doing Game Blast and helping this charity out for people. We all take this for advantage and just think, hey, it's all wonderful, but there are a lot of people out there who, without these sort of charities, can't enjoy the games like we do.
Yeah, I mean, I take it for granted sometimes that I'm able to sit here with my arms at length like I'm in a mech warrior robot all day, but like that's pretty strenuous on like my upper body. Some people don't even like have access to their upper body's muscles. Like, think about that. Like, we're blessed.
That's it. I mean, I complain about my back and such, but at least I can still sit here, play. You know, I can get up and do my stretches and things like that. There are a lot of people who just don't have that opportunity.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you can, jump out there and, you know, throw a few bucks towards RuneScape's Game Blast charity.
Yeah, definitely.
We won't talk about Umbral chests. Merch in celebration of the.
You don't want to talk about how many you can buy? No, I'm just kidding.
In celebration of the 1 year anniversary of the RuneScape's Angelscapes range, we're delighted to reveal a new limited edition pink Max Cape keyring. That's just one of a few new lines heading the RuneScape store, such as the new Slayer necklace, which looks magnificent, and a Plague's End mug as well. So they'll all arrive on February 22nd, so they should be on the merch store now.
Their stuff's always overpriced.
Yeah, it is, yeah. But that Slayer necklace does actually look pretty cool.
Dang it, I missed another shortcut.
Yeah.
They haven't updated
when you're talking, there should be something. If you've got the that elite outfit and your agility cape, the agility cape, 99 should give you the ability to just, if it's there, you just jump through it automatically. That would have been one of the nice perks on the agility cape.
I'm not even wearing my agility cape because it doesn't do anything. What were you gonna say, Blake?
No.
I was just gonna say, like, they've been updating their merch store for like the last couple of years now.
Yes.
Like a lot more than I've ever expected. I still wish they would have different type of merchandise.
Yeah, it's never stuff I want, like, either. Alright, Bladecom has found the Remove the Wild, or, quote, it's amazing how much I can change in a decade post here for me by, I Hate Pokemon, I believe is the name. Okay. No judgment, reserving any judgment. I will let the article speak for itself. Alright, I was wondering. I was like, can I have a chair that actually puts me forward? Thank you. Alright. Sorry, I'm fighting with my... with gravity. One sec. Gravity's a toxin, did you know that? Anyway. Sorry about that. Here we go. Okay. I'm fixed. Here we go. It says, I joined RuneScape in August of 2007, literally less than 4 months before the wilderness and free trade was removed. I never went into the wild. I never went into the wild because for the most of 2007, I was just a little nooblet. I didn't even have level 30 in all skills until after summoning released. So for the first few years of my time in the wild, I knew a RuneScape that didn't have PKing outside of Bounty Hunter. That's interesting. I also knew of a world without PKing, like for a very short period of time. So I can picture that as well. Fast forward to 2011, Jagex puts out a poll as to whether or not people want wilderness or free trade back in the game. It passes overwhelmingly. Now, I'm not going to argue that bringing free trade back into the game is a bad thing, because if it wasn't in, then the trades that happen at player-owned farms would be impossible. But the wilderness, oh boy. As we've seen in the past couple of days, most people consider the wild to be populated by griefers, and people are now actively calling for the removal of the wilderness. And there are more than a few reasons why. PKers are almost universally toxic. When I go in the wilderness, it's usually for abyssing runecrafts. And I cannot count the number of times I've been killed over maybe 10,000 in runecrafting essence, and I've been told to neck myself in the process. Prior to the Divino-Manic getting gutted, I'd seen people be regularly killed using Divino-Manics, despite the fact that 1, player killers literally got nothing from it, and 2, the area around it was populated by actual bots. They don't care about profit, they care about making your day a little bit harder. PKers risk next to nothing. From my experience, there are two types of PKers in the wild: those who have one item to protect on, or those assholes who have Nox gear, knowing full well that those skillers aren't going to try to fight back. Skilling in the wild is not worth it, more often than not. Cursed Energy was one of the worthwhile skilling activities. Beyond that, we have Charming Moths, which are nearly impossible to catch, even with 90+ Hunter, and give charms at a slower rate than most monsters. The Agility Course, a popular place for griefers to hang out for no other reason than to ruin a skiller's day. Warbands, which get crashed in 80% of cases, and that's no site sourced on that, a random number. The Chaos Altar, literally, why would you use when there is an entire world dedicated to open gilded altars? Just gonna stop there and note, I do back criminal bolt runs all the time, and there are constantly people using the Chaos Altar there, just to note that. So,
yep.
Just counterpointing that. And the safe cracking at the Rogues Guild, which is currently 0 risk, assuming you don't get skulled, and Jagex doesn't make the loot bag dropped on death. Pretty much the only reason to go to the wild to skill is for the Abyss rune crafting, which I disagree with that. Which combined
I do too.
With a demonic skull can mean big XP per hour. It's close enough to the wall that you can flee over it if a PKer decides to target you and just switch to a less populated world. The system is outdated by a modern MMO standards. There is literally no MMO in existence that has a PvP system even approaching the bizarre quality of the Wilderness. I don't know if that's true. I don't. There's still open PvP game areas in games like World of Warcraft and Rift, isn't there?
I don't think so. Not in the degree where you lose everything. The only thing I can think of that's kind of close to that regard was Ultima, and that's been like.
Fair enough. Okay, I will rescind that then for now and do a little more research. I think I might be thinking of some way older games that are barely in development anymore. Okay, Warframe, Secret, World of Legends, Destiny, and World of Warcraft all have dedicated arenas which don't risk much beyond in-game currency or else dueling systems where people can fight without risking anything. It fills my mouth with bile to say this, but effing Fallout 76 has a better PvP system than RuneScape, because one, the PvP has to be agreed to by both players. I mean, you can glitch Fallout 76 into a fight, into an unagreed upon fight. So I'm gonna just call shenanigans on that first of all. But anyway, if a player just starts mowing down others without it being agreed to, they get a bounty put on them that gets deducted from their currency when they die. So, to sum it up, the Wilderness is an outdated concept even by RuneScape standards. Jagex doesn't seem to understand the difference between PvP and player killing. One of them is fair, relatively low-risk contest between 2 or more players, and the other is what happened in South Park World of Warcraft episode, people with power flexing on people who want to be productive or have fun. Player killing needs to be removed entirely, and whether that entails the reclamation or destruction of the Wilderness or the return of the revenants to the surface, we don't care. That's what
I called for.
Yeah. It has been over a decade since riots demanding the Wilderness' reinstatement, and now people are calling for its removal. Times have changed, and Jagex needs to adapt or die. A little harsh at the end there, but I do agree that the Wilderness does need to change its form for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of points and statements he made that I just generally don't agree with, but I understand what his point is. I don't think the Wilderness really fits RuneScape 3. It just, I don't know, it's a very much a shadow of what it formerly was.
It's from RuneScape Classic. It was literally introduced in RuneScape Classic as a solution to open world PvP. Because they had a system in game that was, you could be a player killer or not a player killer, and that system was not working. Because they didn't want that anymore. They were like, how do we fix this? They basically had Darkscape, and they were like, this isn't working. Darkscape sucks. And now people are like, bring back Darkscape.
Well, even like when we had people asking for Bounty Hunter to come back, I think people were really asking for the Crater.
Yeah.
Like the way the Crater functioned and like I guess post Wilderness removal like was actually really interesting and really engaging, but like we didn't get that when Bounty Hunter was reintroduced, you know, kind of like our open world PvP that we had for a while, which didn't
work either. It was abused.
Yeah, the whole ELO system where what was it? Where you sat in the wilderness for like an hour, and then
built up you just built up your threat rating, and then went and killed you. Had your friend kill yourself or something.
Yeah, you just get like 2 mils. Like, oh, okay, cool, great.
Actually, if all you do is wildy and rune crafting, then of course the only PKers you see are griefers. Fair, yeah, all right. Nighttail, it's a shame. The wilderness is a massive area, and it's so much to be done to make it awesome. Yeah, could be done is the key word there.
I mean, I used to be part of like a PvP clan, like 2006 through like 9 or whatever, and like it was fun. It was good for the time. Like it's hard to realistically want to risk like a tier 90 weapon or tier 70 plus armor, you know. Like why risk and do that when you can just like kill a monster and get way more money and enjoyment out of that?
Well, that's the thing is a lot of people don't want to risk stuff and lose it, because most of the time you're going to be dying and losing stuff rather than winning stuff, right? Like that's...
I mean, I remember last time I was out there, I got abused by a guy because I was only wearing Dragon. Yeah, he killed me, and that's all he got as a drop. And you know, I'm an arsehole for not bringing more stuff out and such. You know, it's like, well, because there's dickheads like you out there. There's two things that they can do. Now, my big one is, I said it's the 6th age. We need to reclaim the wilderness where player killers are gone. But, you know, Revenants are back out there. That's your high risk for your high reward, where, you know, they are some of the most powerful creatures in game and can wreck you pretty quickly if you're not on ball. The other way is just have an opt-in. So leave your XP rates and such as they are now if you want to opt in and get all that bonus XP, or have a nerf version where I can go in there risk-free. Maybe just have some Revenants and such running around. They're the only things that can sort of bother me, but no player killer can come up. But I'm going to get 25% less XP out of those things. Now the problem with that is obviously, if you take 25% XP off those things, it doesn't make them worthwhile going out there anyway, because there's obviously better things in game for that XP. So it's a really hard one, and we've said all along the PKing community, not the PvP community, the PKing community is very toxic. I mean, they're out there to grief. They're the same people who walk up to a little baby in the street, punch it in the face, and steal its candy. The big bully at high school that goes up to the little preppies, the new kids, and steals their lunch money. I mean, it's that sort of, they're so overpowered compared to what the skillers are taking out there to do. It's just no fair fight, and it's just not fun. If you can't sit there and have any chance at fighting back or doing anything, you just got to basically sit there and die. What's the point? I mean, there's just nothing there that makes it sort of fun. I mean, I'm sure it can't be fun game-wise for the PKers to know that they're just going to kill someone so easily. It's like a level 99 just going out and killing goblins in the game. What's the fun of that? But what they're getting out of it is that thrill of, I've been able to grief someone in game.
Goblin finish,
just to screw up someone's game.
What do you maybe you got a short green guy fetish? I don't know. You gotta judge me.
And the other thing I would mention too is like really evolution of combat and such. Like it was kind of designed for like PvP at the beginning, but like since like 6 years later, like it really is devoid. Like it's just those abilities are really overpowered and can really kill you like super easily in the wilderness too.
Oh yeah, you can if you don't know what you're doing. Like that's Shadow Rising, one of our old co-hosts, was great at PvP because he knew how to use his defensives, and he would just reflect all that damage back, and basically watch his opponent kill themselves, because they would do really high-powered moves, and he would watch for the telltale signs of those abilities, and basically just reflect that damage back. And then when they were super low on health from that, he would then use, drink an adrenaline potion, yada, 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 and then finish them off at low health. And just watching that was just like,
The first year of EOC with PvP was really ridiculous.
oh,
And we didn't have the adrenaline bar being shared. Oh, that's something also I really hate about the Wilderness. It has its own special rules for every.
yeah, that is, yeah, this works. Yeah, this except in PvP.
Yeah, you can't surge and then bladed dive because
No,
the ability of. Oh, you missed a shortcut again.
Yeah.
You can't surge and then do bladed dive. You can't see 10 feet in front of you for dots and stuff like that.
I hate the fact that the Wilderness has the stupid reduced view distance. That needs to just stop. Can we get rid of the Java client, please? I hate not being able to see more than 10 tiles in front of me. It's really disturbing.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's they deliberately put that back in on the Wilderness so you couldn't see anyone coming.
I don't like it.
Going back to Java, they reckon they are close to getting rid of it. They're down to about 5% of players still using it, and they're trying to work out how to get a few more of those over. I said just lose them.
I was going to say, can we just cancel them? Can we just change their passwords or their emails?
I think realistically, we're probably going to see the end of Java next year early. I think they're going to make an announcement and stuff.
I hope so. I hope they just discontinue it, and that's that. Sorry.
Yeah, just basically now say, listen, we're switching over. We're not going to be doing anything with Java. Any new content you probably won't be able to access properly in Java. If you want to keep playing, the old stuff will still go. But yeah, that's it. Get over onto NXT.
I mean, that'll kill a lot of the bots too, because they still use their own custom Java.
Thank you, Killer Bunny. Yeah, that would be great, right? Imagine that. Imagine if that's one of the reasons why they secretly haven't killed Java. Is a conspiracy theory. They're working with the bots. There's a huge underground economy they don't want to destroy. You never know.
Yeah, Mod Ramon's running them all.
Yep. Hey, that's actually probably slander. I don't know. That might be slander.
No, I am only teasing. I do like him.
Remember when Crumb ran those bots, though? That was fucking stupid. Who? Oh my... Crumb, the old school RuneScaper. He makes...
Live streamed it.
Did he live? Yeah, he made those...
He live streamed it. He said, "Oh, look at it." He was the guy who was doing the testing on it, wasn't it?
Yeah,
he ran him, and then they banned his main account.
All of them. Yeah, they banned all of his, even his good accounts.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was sitting there showing people how it was done, and this is ridiculous. Look at what can happen, and da. So he's
teaching people how to make bots.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, we'll take all your bots out, plus your main accounts as well. See you later.
Now on his channel, he's teaching people how to make bots and stuff. He's out of control.
That'd be like me going up to the police and going, "Yes, see this, hey, you've got this nice body vest on. See, if I get here and I stab you under the armpit like this and stab the guy and say, but why are you arresting me?"
Yeah, right.
I'm just showing you how it works.
Right. It's for educational purposes. That's educational blood. But yes, another good article here from that BladeCom sent me. Planning to make prayer renewals this double XP weekend. Conglacier wants to help they say my plan for Double X weekend is to make prayer renewals at Bergerath for absolute maximum cost mitigation with Mauritania Legs 4. Why am I telling you this? I've bought enough wells for 50 continuous hours of doing this in advance. So if you're planning on doing the same method of training, come by and enjoy the well. Though if you want to be nice and extend the well with your own, I'll definitely appreciate it. Plus, anyone here with pulse cores will help. Pro tip, you can make a potion at the well outside the bank once and just run back to the bank and make the potion from there and still get the extra potion and XP procs, so you can train here even if you aren't making these and just be away from the hustle and bustle of World 84 Combat Academy. Nice little post there.
Yeah, I was making those earlier this week, and Mauritania does not have a bank chest. Like, it's really bizarre, like how you have to actually get the benefit of the legs for prayer renewal.
I
didn't even know they gave you there was any bonus or benefit.
I need to do the Mauritania stuff.
So it gives you a 20% chance to make a 4-dose potion for prayer renewals when you have the legs on and make them in Mauritania.
That's cool.
That is pretty sweet.
I'm just sitting up here in Prifddinas. We're dropping our wells up here, so it's really good because it's away from all that toxicity down on World 84.
The toxicity of World 84.
People just sitting there. I was down earlier just preparing my final lot of unfinished potions, and just the people doing line fire making. They start them virtually on top of the wells and such, and just run them all out. And just the lag, because there's 5,000 fires in lines all around it. It's just ridiculous.
Permission granted. I'm giving Action Cat permission. He wants to jump in and defend the wilderness.
Yeah, go for it. I'd love to have someone who likes it on there. If you're a PKer, I am gonna insult you, but it is all in fun.
I've given you access to the live room, so you're welcome to join in anytime you like. Just pop in. There you go, and I will adjust your volume if need be.
Hi, how do I sound?
No, not too bad. I will boost you up a tiny bit.
Lift it up a little bit,
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Go for it.
Yeah. So I am not pro wilderness, but I don't know if it's a great idea to remove it.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not a PKer, so you don't have to insult me.
Good.
Oh,
Friend loves insulting people. You let him down. It's all right though.
I'm one of those.
Why save the wilderness though?
Well, I like the idea of PKers because I like having a villain that everybody can kind of hate.
Okay.
Same reason people, love to hate. I don't know, the Joker,
Yeah.
Draymond Green, whatever.
a friend.
I completely agree with that. And yeah, keep going.
Yeah, that's really my biggest reason. Like I said in chat, the wilderness is kind of iconic, so there's that nostalgic factor where it'd just be sad to see it go. I think it's really appealing, the idea of a 6th-stage resurgence or something, and having the wilderness kind of grow back and spring up into cities and forests and stuff. But it would have to stay dangerous because there's got to be that area in the world where it's just you could die at any moment, and I just don't know how you do that without actual players being dicks.
Like, I can agree to that to a point. I just don't agree with the way the death mechanic works for the wilderness. Like, I'm fine if I die and I lose money, right? Like, I pay a death cost, but a incentive that I lose all my items, or I can lose all my items except for 3. Like, it just doesn't fit RuneScape 3 anymore, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, it definitely does not work the way it should work. Especially there's always a new skull trick, which is just
Exactly. That's the problem. And Hannah, I think, had the best idea a little while ago about it, where you do just pay a death cost. the PK can perhaps claim a percentage of that.
Wouldn't it?
But
Go ahead.
no, go.
I was
No,
just,
you go.
wouldn't it be cool if, like, you're in the wilderness, right? And you're wearing whatever the hell you want. Everyone else is wearing whatever the hell you want. You're killing people left and right, okay? And then you finally die. And then you show up in Death's office. And Death is like, all right. He's just tapping his fingers. He's looking at the baby. He's like, all right, you killed 25 people worth, like, 82 million gold. You died. You were worth 62 million gold. Okay. That's a net 25 million gold. Here you go. All right. Get out of my office. You know, wouldn't that be cool? Like, that sounds kind of cool to me.
That wouldn't be too bad.
I don't know. That sounds better than what it is right now.
Yeah, exactly. But, as long as you're not... And I like your idea. Yeah.
It's like a killing spree.
There's some new cities and things that pop up and such, but outside of those cities, maybe your PKing can happen there. But if you get into the city, you're sort of in a safe area where you can do sort of different things. But maybe you can't teleport out of there. You've got to run back and sort of take that risk.
Where are these cities coming from?
maybe
You
something
want to
like
rebuild
that,
the
but,
wilderness still, don't you? You want to rebuild the wilderness?
I mean, it's the sixth age. This all happens
I got
sort of
you.
in the third age, which is
yeah. I just wanted to I wanted to make sure I'm still on the same page as you. That's all. Okay.
Yes. So I mean, it's such a large area of the map that is so empty. I mean, on any world, there's 4 or 5 people out there in the wilderness.
Oh, yeah, okay. Because
yeah.
So Ashicat is saying, do you want it to be called Ashicat or Truth Ray? What do you prefer?
Ashicat's fine. It makes more sense since that's my name on Twitch.
Okay, cool. So Ashicat, what are your thoughts about rejuvenating the wilderness, as Pern's saying here, in the 6th age? Do you feel that would lose a sense of what RuneScape is currently now? Like, if someone's returning to RuneScape and they saw the wilderness as, it's still a PK zone, but it's been completely redone. It's like, as Pern is describing it, as would you feel RuneScape is no longer RuneScape if that was the case, or can it be that that's okay?
It's definitely okay. I mean, we're RuneScape 3 players, so we're not, we don't cry about stuff like EOC or anything like that. Stuff has to change, and things always improve and get better. And I would miss the old wilderness, but that's why I think they would have to do it really well, do it right. But I think it could be super cool. And I like the idea of maybe allowing PKing in certain areas outside the city as well. So kind of a good hybrid of 2 worlds.
And you can still have those revenants running around as well. So the PKs are also at risk as well. Right. So if they're out there, you've got revenants running around that can sort of kill anyone. Your PKs have to
players.
The revenants are just souls of old school players that really quit forever.
But I mean, that's it. And I mean, people who are looking for that sort of true old wilderness type thing, they're going to go over to old school anyway, aren't they? If they really want that, they're not going to stick around on RS3.
The only thing I really remember about Reverence is that I would go into the wilderness for a task or something, and then I would be immediately teleblocked.
They had so much range.
Their accuracy for teleblock was just so 100% or something like that. It was just so aggravating.
They could hit you from across the map. I hated those things.
Yeah, they'd have to be. They should be only able to hit you once they're in sort of viewing distance. Was it 15 squares? So they can only hit you within 13 squares or something.
Yeah, they might need a little tweaking if they're put back.
Yeah.
If they're put back on the surface. Yeah.
If they did it and took the time and did it all properly, and don't even announce it, just start working on something that you want to do and see if it is possible first, and then say, okay, this is what we're looking at. This is what we've got done so far. What do you people think? Get some ideas to tweak like they did with mining and smithing, but don't ask us to do the whole thing for you right from the start. You get the basics down, you lay the foundation and the groundwork, and then we can give you the ideas, some little ideas to tweak and sort of improve here and there. But I just think for what takes up such a large portion of the game map is just so wasted.
Wasted, I would agree that it is currently underused. Wasted is a strong word. Because right now I think it is an icon. I think it represents a piece of RuneScape. Like when you see the world map, like if you put up the world map of RuneScape on your world, on your wall rather, and if the wilderness wasn't there, wouldn't you feel like something was missing?
But it could still be the wilderness. It could still be a similar area, but just where they have improved it and brought it up to current, 2019 standards. As we said, we're not 2006 anymore. When I first started this game in 2011, I mean, I used to stand at the wall and run over and pick up all the food, because when people were killing each other, they grabbed the weapons but leave all the food, and that's how I sort of made my first 100,000 was just grabbing the food and things and sort of cheaper potions that people just left on the ground. But there's just no one out there doing that type of thing anymore. So it's like they've got to do something. And I'm sorry, as we've said, PKing where you're going to lose all your stuff is just it's not an attractive part of anyone's game anymore. As we said, there's you go out there and with all your tier 90 stuff and you two-hit people who have no chance at all. It's not fun for anyone. It's not fun for them. The only excitement they get out of it is that they've ruined someone's game.
Yeah.
The only reason I can think of why they don't do it is probably... Do you remember the Crucible when it first came out?
Mm-hmm.
Because Crucible, you just had people in there with either a yak and their full max gear and just camp people coming in.
Yep.
Who were unprepared. So for them, it was just a free 500k because they would immediately fort. I think that might be
see them when you got in.
Yeah, I think that might have been the reason they are probably afraid of trying that type of method again. That would be my only guess.
But with something like that, when you go in there, you should have 10 seconds. I think they ended up changing it in a way you had that sort of 10 seconds once you got down there that you were safe from attack.
Well, I know for the Crucible, it didn't account for level correctly either. There's multitudes of issues with
There's a lot of problems there, yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's so much that can be done, but I mean, there's so much other stuff we want in game too. So it's also got to be about priority. What do we want prioritized? Do we want a construction update? Do we want a new skill? Do we want them to fix the wilderness? I mean, because fixing the wilderness is going to be a 12-month job. Sorry?
We want them to fix more skills. Isn't that, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. I would be happy if they told me we're gonna redo construction and all that type of stuff, and we're not going to touch wilderness for 5 years. If you're fixing and such, I'll take that over a wilderness fix up any day. As long as you don't force me to go out there.
Listen,
that's what annoys me.
Force me to go out there. And if you're gonna if they told me, listen, Magebit, you have to do your criminal bolt run every time you log in, but we're gonna rework fishing and cooking next year. We're working on it now, but it will be done for you by January. It's gonna launch in January 2020. I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna get PK'd probably every other day. But whatever.
Yeah.
I would deal with that because I know something beautiful is in the works.
Well, exactly right.
But that's how much I want. When
they start paying you with those logs, you just step away and let them all degrade to dust anyway.
That's the thing is they're not getting anything, and they're doing it just because they want to kill you.
Yes. Because they want to grief you, and they're not. And that's what I said. They're just doing it to piss people off, and that's not.
So just don't be pissed off about
gaming.
I got a good one the other day. It was so funny. He didn't get to kill me, which is the best. Is then when you turn around and just start shit talking them. Because it's why do they? I don't know why he stood around and just took it. So, I'm just. When I do my runecraft, here's a tip for you PKers out there. Just don't bother. For me at least, if you see me doing runecrafting runs, don't bother. Because I am always What do you? I always do the move with the head. What do you call it? I forget what it's called already. But I'll look at the ability on the number 2 bar.
The move with the head.
You know, what it is.
I will when you tell me the name of it.
Anticipation.
Anticipate, yeah.
I always use anticipation when I go in the wilderness. So their teleblock and their stun or whatever they use to stop their, whatever it is, I always anticipate. So it always fails. Whatever their first move to stun me or whatever always fails. So I just turn around and walk away. And I walk back over the wall, and then they just stand there. So I just yell obscenities at them and tell them that they're bad at PKing. And then they generally just stand there and let me do it for a while. It's fun. It's fun when you get to do it.
Yeah, it'd be funny actually to go down and watch some of the more populated worlds at the moment with rune crafting, seeing how many PKs are down there trying to grief on double XP weekend.
I don't think rune crafting is probably going to be used for double XP, just because it's only 100% bonus compared to say like the.
I thought if you had the skull, it was 350% if you use that skull thing.
It is 350, but then it just goes to 450. So it's not like much.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't double all the bonus.
It's not 700%. No.
Okay.
That'd be awesome.
That's kind of a hot spot over double XP though, because people are always trying to get in and out to train in the Abyss, like their melee and range skills, isn't it?
If Daybreak Games ever buys RuneScape, it will be 700%. Don't worry. They have no respect for XP.
We just need to start a skiller's riot where we're all demanding skills to 120.
Do you think RuneScape's going to get sold next year?
I think it's going to get sold this year.
This year, you think?
Yeah, I think it's definitely on the cards. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. The money that it's bringing in with what is coming out in it. I mean, it's a viable investment for someone. I would really love to see them sort of floated on the share market, but then that scares me because you're then dictated by your shareholders, where if you are owned by another company, you can at least sit down with them and say, well, hang on, no, we can't do that because of this. But yeah, it'll be... I think there's a greater chance of it selling this year than not. And congratulations to Thieves who just get these in summoning.
Is it a good thing if it sells?
I don't think it's good or bad.
It's just a thing.
It's just a thing. I mean, the game's not broken. They're not going to fix it. It's making money. So I don't think you're going to see any wholesale changes.
All right.
If the game was losing money, they had to dump it because we're bleeding money, bleeding profits, then yeah, that could be a bad thing. I am very surprised. Well, actually, I'm not surprised because the company that owns us now, they did lose. I mean, RuneScape was one of their few companies that made good money this year.
Yeah,
that's right. Now the new CEO wants to sort of start bringing money back in, and it's a perfect time to sell a company that's just made such huge profits because they bought the company for 300 million. They can basically double their money in that sort of 2-3 years that they owned it because of the profits that it's making. A smarter way would be, sell off 70% of it, keep 30%. So you've still got that bit of money coming in. You're still making profit on your original investment to keep your shareholders happy. And that's where the problem is. I mean, they've got shareholders that they have to keep happy. But another company that buys it. Now, as I said, with the number of players on Old School RS, and Old School keeps saying we're never going to get MTX, we're never going to get MTX. So I'm sorry to say, yes, you are. Any investor that's going to take over is going to see the number of players there, and that's what they want. I mean, they're there to make money. If they can make money by adding some MTX, they might lose 10 or 15% of their player base. But they'll take that loss for the extra money that they're going to make by the people who will stay there. I don't think it'll be as like all the XP stuff that we have here, but I think you'll get a lot of cosmetic stuff over there. That type of thing. I think they will have learnt when they do MTX over there. They will have learnt from RS3 about too much XP coming into the game, but there's certainly a lot of different ways that they can do things. The game being sold, will bring that in sooner rather than later. I think one of the other reasons why we're seeing Changhong hold on to us is because of I think it's the gaming license release in China. I think there has been a hold on new games being released over there. There's something going on in China about gaming licenses and such. So that may be another reason they're dumping it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see as we go forward. I do agree. I think we'll see it sort of sold sooner rather than later.
Selling games in China's always been kind of complicated.
Yeah.
Like World of Warcraft, they had to give all the skeletons skin or something. Dumb stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, selling any art in China is very difficult, from my understanding.
That's right. And basically, if you did in China, you would have to create a different game. They would be two different games. It'd be like OS and RS3. You would have a Chinese version of it because of sort of a lot of the regulations that they have over there and such. So the mobile side of things, I think, is where they were hoping to get it. But anyway, we'll wait and see. But it's not going to be a bad thing if it happens for us. As I said, you will get MTX over on old school. That is going to be inevitable. They're not going to have a player base there like that they're not going to be making money off.
Fair enough.
MageBit owns a share, demands dungeoneering removal.
That would be amazing. Well, one of my hopes was maybe they could buy themselves. Buy themselves
if
out,
they
become
bought
an independent company.
If they bought themselves, then yeah, they could say, okay, we can guarantee no MTX. But that's what
it's not even about the MTX, but it's just about creative freedom.
But that's exactly right. Then you have that freedom to do what you like, and you can sit there if you want to. Then do sort of all the graphical reworks and get people in to do all that type of stuff. I mean, the problem is cost versus sort of reward on those type of things, and a lot of things they want to do is expensive and doesn't. It's not going to create extra players or all these graphical reworks that they're doing are beautiful. We all love, but really the game works even if they don't do that. So why put money into that when I can be putting it into this, which may attract new players, which may get people spending more money on this type of stuff.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. I have another topic here, if you'd like, by Thieves. It's called Yet Another Completionist Cape Rework Suggestion. If you'd like to completely switch topics, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Cool.
I have read this by Thieves, and there's a few little tweaks I'd make, but it's actually a nice simplified way to do things. And anyway, I'll let you read it. But
I'd love to hear the feedback. I'll read it, and then feel free to feedback on it. Here we go. Here's my proposed idea for the Comp Cape rework. Let me know what you think. There are problems stated in the Completionist dev blog by Mod Jack, which hopefully this suggestion will address. Comp's best in slot stats utility compel non-completionist players to get it and hate the process. Comp and trim comp requirements are inconsistent and unpredictable, rather. Some controversial requirements lock players out of comp and thus end game gameplay. Comp is such a huge leap after maxing that there is no practical endgame for many players. First change, the unpractical completionist cape. Jagex should remove all...
That's unparticled.
Unparticled, excuse me. That's a word. Jagex should remove extra requirements and boil the cape down into something much simpler and create essentially what would be an untrimmed comp cape. One big argument bandied around by the community is that step from maxing to completion is too large, so an unparticled version would create a nice stepping stone for further achievements to come. The achievement this proposed unparticled comp cape, one would need to have achieved max, achieved 120 dungeoneering, invention, and slayer, completed all quests, and completed all tasks. That's pretty fair. The unparticled completionist cape would have no extra stats on top of max. However, the reward of reaching completionist, aesthetics aside, would include the ability to add cape slot rewards from questing and stat sets like Ava's Alerter and Dungeon Cloak 4, for example. As players achieve more capes, such as Reefwalker's cape, they can add it to the unparticled cape to permanently unlock its effect. I like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, and that's what I said. It's a nice, simple, okay, there's your first goal. That's what I'm going for. That's it. Now, calling it an unparticled completionist cape, I would rather see something like, it's called the achievement cape, where you've unlocked all the achievements, you've achieved max stats, so sort of, your max levels and things,
Achievement cape sounds like a participation cape. It sounds like, like we've given you something for trying, and you didn't really...
There should be one completionist cape, not a trim completionist cape, not a completionist cape, not an untrimmed. It should be just one completionist cape when you have done everything. It is a purely cosmetic cape. You have completed every single thing in game.
I mean, I've seen similar suggestions like this, or these different tiers. I mean, I personally just hate the name completionist cape. I would prefer it be champion cape, then you get the hero cape, then you get the legend cape. Just something.
Yeah, the Legends cape is they blew that way too early.
Well, you can say legendary cape is what I'm saying. Something of those nature.
Yeah,
because completionist cape just makes it bogs it down with so many arbitrary rules and suggestions by the community. I think it hurts the design overall.
I agree. Calling it a completion cape when there's so much more to complete is a really bad idea. But calling it a "you tried" cape also kind of sucks, because that's what it sounds like when you call it an achievement cape.
Yeah, well done. You participated. Yeah, I know, but
I'm sorry.
They've got to have a different name. Well, what I was sort of getting at, there needs to be a different name other than complete.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Can you read the next part for me? I have to do a little bit of math on the back end for me for another.
Second change is the cluttering. A large portion of the existing completionist and trim requirements could be placed into the more suitable category of Master Quest cape. The Master Quest list will always be cluttered, as the nature of it is pretty much the tying up of loose ends. A light scroll through the current list of completion/trim requirements, and you'll find at least half of them could be shipped over to the Master Quest cape category, such as attending Clarence's funeral, hunting Thalassus, and the completion of the Fremennik sagas. The Ark, Menaphos, and New Varrock sit within the Exploration Achievements section without having their own respective achievement diaries. Port's achievements should be also included in the Exploration section. These, what I would call pseudo diaries, should have their current requirements removed from the current completionist list and placed into their own respective categories within the Exploration Achievements for now. The requirements that I would deem random include scoring 1,111 points in the Big Chim Chomper and constructing a Tusker Mask. These are random because they don't offer any long-term benefits to the game. The Elder Rune Ore Box requirement fits perfectly, for example, as it grants a player the very best of a certain item, whereas constructing a Tusker Mask is repeatable and offers just a small amount of XP and Slayer tokens. These smaller requirements should be removed entirely from the completion and placed simply as normal achievements. Half-measure requirements, such as the aforementioned Memorial of Guthix or completing just one ports trio, should be merged into the longer trimmed achievement, which is at least representative of actual completion of the content. Requirements such as these were made to appease completionists who lost their capes and wanted them back ASAP, but hopefully changes such as the ones I'm outlining would stop this issue. To summarise this section, I propose we reallocate a large portion of the requirements into more appropriate categories, which would whittle the current comp / trim requirements down to about 50 achievements total. Third change. Does anyone have anything to say over those second changes before we go on?
No, it's just a lot to like absorb.
Yeah, basically, I mean, I like the idea. I mean, anything that is lore related should be as a Master Quest requirement. And
I would agree with that.
And I totally agree. Things like 1111 points. I mean, that's stupid. That why 1111? Why not 1113? Why not 999? I mean,
I can tell you why that particular requirement was added.
Why?
The Mod Tempo worked on Big Chinchapa, and CompCape is also like his project. So he wanted people to engage with his content that were high level for feedback or something of that time, of the nature of that release. That is literally the reason why that's the release.
Yeah, so it's just random. It's like it's got nothing to do with the game whatsoever. It's just something that one of the mods sort of thought, hey, I can do this. So, that's the type of thing. Exactly, and that's what I mean. These type of things are silly. As he said there, the half measures, just completing one of the ports trio gives you the completionist cape. No, you should complete ports. But I agree that it should not be on the completionist cape because it's like it is a random type of thing.
You unlock the thumbs up cape when you hit level 10 in all skills. I like that. That's my idea for that DX.
Thumbs up cape. Third change, the issue of Reaper. Like it or not, defeating every boss, including Solak, is part of the game and should be considered part of actual completion. For transparency, I lost my comp cape to Solak and it remains lost. As everyone knows, one of the many reasons the current comp cape game... the current comp cape in-game is so desirable to PVMers is because it combines all of the most powerful capes conveniently into one. Therefore, the ability to add whichever capes you deem necessary to your unparticle cape would eliminate this issue. I propose that the remaining PVM requirements, such as completing the Slayer Codex, Reaper Crew, and even killing the Penance King, should all be swept into their own PVM category. So,
I like
what do we
that
think
idea.
of that?
Yes. Yeah. I really want PVM to be removed from... the Cobb cape and put into its own category and give it its own cape.
And that benefits two things. It benefits people like us who don't care so much about the stats, but we want a lot of those perks like the Artie cloak and the Ava's Alerter on an cape that we can wear. We don't really need best in slot combat. And it also then allows PVMs.
I want it more for the people who can get the boss portal, so they'll stop complaining about the damn boss portal.
Yeah, that's right. And if you can get this boss portal, if you get a Reaper cape, you don't have to stuff, but you've got that Reaper cape, and you can build your own portal in your house or wherever you want to do. I like that idea of letting PVMers have their own cape that they can aim for that has the best in slot stats, without that way it won't sort of hurt the things that we want to do as well.
I've seen some compelling arguments or designs for multiple pillars of capes, like how the Master Quest cape would be the quest section, Max cape would be the skilling section, PVM cape for PVM, and then you have two minor pillars which would be mini games and PvP. There's a lot of suggestions like this, and I don't mean to take away from this guy's suggestion. Everything he said, it makes sense. It works. I just don't know if this is I just don't know if this is the design I would go for. I would probably I would probably have the 5 pillars that I was just saying, and then combine them to make a completionist cape as the cosmetic. But the boss portal itself is a whole different issue. I don't think you should be able to I don't think skilling, where you get 99 and everything, equals to a boss portal where you never had to fight a boss in the first place. Like it should be like as an additional reward, like you can unlock it through Reaper or build the portal in your player own house. Like it shouldn't just be exclusively to the max skill.
Exactly. No. You can have it there, but yes, I agree. It should be something you can build after you do certain things. Anyway, fourth change, the remaining requirements.
Thank you for the follow, Craig from Jersey. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Akin to the proposed PVM changes, every requirement left over, such as building Damarok and Rhiannon, unlocking full agile and prestiging the memorial, should be placed into a category of their own. These would include Livid Farm and current trim requirements like Chompies. For now, let's just call this new category Extra Credit. Fifth change, combining capes. As touched upon, manually adding achieved capes like the top capes or the spirit cape to an unparticle cape, similar to skill capes, to permanently unlock the effect on the unparticle cape would also be both a better system to keep the feeling of progression alive and stop complaints when new requirements come into the game. This cape would gradually get more powerful as the player achieves, instead of forcing the player through extra requirements to unlock the ability of a cape they would already own. This way, if for example a new skilling update was released with lengthy requirements, the players could continue whatever they enjoy with a fully functional cape post-update, with the option to play this new piece of content whenever they wish.
As I literally just made the comparison. Well, shame on me, I guess, but yeah.
That's okay. The sixth change, completion branches.
Do you want me to read some? Or do you want to? You can go.
No, you can take on for there, because I can have a drink of water then.
Sure, yeah. Completion branches. People have suggested forms in this in the past, but I'll reiterate it with an unparticled cape pitch. Love those unparticled cape pitches. With particles, to unlock the cape we know and love today, players would be required to obtain the unparticled completion cape. To have the completed, the pseudo diaries would effectively mean 100% completion of the exploration achievement category, and finally to have completed the extra credit category as listed in the change above. This category should also encompass skilling updates such as the player-owned farm and add requirements like the old Mick title. Therefore, the particle effect is essentially just a cosmetic change.
And I have picked up the old Mick title too, so
yeah, you're on fire. Thank you, Sprat140, for the follow as well. Yeah, you own everything.
Except the comp cape now.
Yeah, right? Thank you, Solak.
Yes, Solak. Thanks, Solak.
Thanks, Mod Ramen.
Actually, I just realised as well, because Elite Dungeons 2, I've actually only done the story mode, so I need all those bosses down there too.
Ah, yes.
I was having a look at it the other day, and I forgot about those.
I've offered to take you multiple times.
Yes, I will get around to it.
Let's see here. Where was I? White particles? Did I do that already? Black particles.
Finished, yes,
black particles. The new cape would again require players to obtain the unparticled completion cape, but would only have to complete everything listed in the new PVM category. Additionally, this category should also have the Master Quest cape requirement of combining all talk capes, but put here, which would be more appropriate than its current placement. Similar to the white particles, this is just a cosmetic change. I like it. A place for the talk.
So you've got a skillers version and a PVM of white and black.
I like it. In closing thoughts, if the final versions...
Hang on. You forgot the gold particle.
Oh, my apologies. The gold particles. How can I forget gold? Trim would be now effectively have no requirement category with this new structure. To unlock this proposed trim cape, players would need to have the white particle cape, the black, and the Master Quest cape. The inclusion of the Master Quest cape is important because it represents the completion of enormous amounts of content that the current system ignores. Music, for simplicity's sake, would also go into this category, assuming there are tracks that could be missed by this point. So yeah, I like that as well. Yep. It encompasses pretty much everything into there.
And that way, yeah, it's more of a true completionist because you've completed all the lore as.
Yeah, because there's some really silly exceptions to like trim right now. I mentioned this before. Like I don't have Master Quest cape, but I have trim comp. Like okay, cool.
I mean, that happens all the time. Go
I
ahead.
was the 132nd person to get the Master Quest cape.
That's
think
that's pretty intense. Good.
I think for a master, all I need is the elite dungeon journals now. So I'm pretty much gonna get like I think
Yeah.
in March.
Story mode's nice and easy for that.
It would be cool.
I'm about to lose my my Master Quest cape.
Actually, I kept saying it would be cool if you could decorate comp and max capes with favorite skill icons. That would be cool. That would be a cool idea. Closing thoughts. If the final version of the of the cape were broken down and ordered appropriately, there would be no need for grace periods. People shouldn't, with real emphasis on that, complain about loftier periods with requirements being added to the game if they're for just cosmetic particles. The Castle Wars requirement, which I have deliberately avoided in this post, they say, is absurd and truly should be retired. Updated, profound to look, incredible to be discontinued, or both, to reward players have suffered the months of AFKing and swap the current Castle Wars requirement to both obtaining all minigame hybrid armor instead. Not a bad idea. This would still cost 10,500 Thaler and require effort, but removing a large portion of one of the least enjoyable pieces of content for infinitely better armor that at least is more in line with actual completion of actually obtaining the best of something. That's not wrong. I mean, it's still ridiculous for the amount of effort that you'd have to put in, but it's still at least like something
better.
Yeah.
And you're doing all different content.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's face it, as we say now, Castle Wars is go in there, sit down for 20 minutes, go and play something else or watch Netflix. You know, people are playing other games while they're sitting in your Castle Wars. Sitting on the ground, clicking on the screen every 5 minutes so they don't log out. I mean, that's not engaging your players. You're forcing them to go and play something else. You know, that just does not make sense to me.
It's lame.
I did the Castle Wars requirement, I think, in 2014, and I can tell you that everyone there just felt it was a waiting list for trim. Like, we got all of our other requirements out of the way, but now we had to wait 4 to 6 months to get
it's an exclusive list.
It felt like
back in 2014.
Yeah.
So even back then, people were just basically.
I mean, luckily, then we, because that was before Thaler came out, right?
Yeah,
and that was right after they changed it from 5K to the profound armor. So I don't know. I don't like the Castle Wars requirement. Nobody does.
Nobody does.
And people that really insist that it stays there either don't have comp or the trim comp or just are super bitter.
Yeah, I am a huge proponent of removing it as somebody who doesn't have it and somebody who doesn't have any want to go for it either. I think it needs to go just because it's a bad. I know bad game requirements. I know them. I spent my life studying video games. As pathetic as that sounds, that is a bad video game mechanic. Go ahead.
And the only reason I can think of why it was there is because the developers of Castle Wars, when they made the 5K cape, did not take the time to calculate how long that would. There's literally no reason for it to exist or be a thing.
No, that was clearly just an afterthought. Hey, let's make them do 5,000 games of Castle Wars because I like Castle Wars. That was not thought out at all. I want to know whose idea that was. They're clearly not working there anymore, so they're fair game. If you want to, put a hit out on them, maybe I don't know. I'm just joking.
I mean, there's other comments I can make. There's no reward for extra golden tickets if you get the most flag captures or the most kills. There's literally nothing incentivizing you to play that, and it's just sad.
So yeah, another little interesting tidbit. This is that you sent me here, Bladecom, from Mod Pips' LinkedIn profile here. Apparently, they're going to GDC this year. Jagex will be at GDC on Monday. What day on Monday? This Monday coming up?
No, it's in March, I think.
Oh, okay, I was like, GDC's not that soon, is it? Okay. Monday, March 18th. There we go. I could just read the image in front of me. Yeah. I know how to use my eyeballs. Now I'm like, how do I connect my network into his? I barely use LinkedIn, but this is really cool. But apparently, yeah, if you're going to GDC, it says GDC Go is block out your Monday night. That's right, Jagex are returning to San Francisco with a big old bang to kick off GDC in sumptuous style. Invites going out next week. Ping me if you want in. You know you want. No one does it quite like us. You can't wait. GDC, game dev jobs, game industry. So if you are into the game industry, obviously if you're going to GDC, you probably are into the games industry. You may want to ping good old Philly here. If you want a link, hit me up. Or, There ain't no show notes for the show. This is a loose form show here.
Yeah, well, I think they went to GDC like in 2016 or 2017.
Yeah, they did. I remember.
And there's and it's always like recorded on YouTube. So if you if you're not a game developer, you can watch this later. But last time they were there, they talked about like their development teams, like the 6 teams and how they work and how they always release an update on Monday and how they just can't miss that date and things like that. It was really interesting.
Interesting. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm having all sorts of bank issues at the moment. I apologize. All my payments are bouncing due to like a fraud issue. It's like we fixed the issue.
Oh, it's in real life bank.
Yes, real life.
I thought you meant Runescape. No. Yeah, that happens. But no, real life bank. That's not good.
No, and it's not like it's actually RuneScape's fault. Here's what happened. I haven't played in like a month, so I logged in this morning. Rune Metrics ran out. Bonds are too expensive, so I'm not going to pay with a bond right now. So I wanted to pay with real money. Okay? Cool. So, because, I got my discount because I'm a premium member and all that jazz, so I go, cool, I'm going to pay $350 for a month of Rune Metrics. Bam. Denied. My bank, fraud alert. Fuck you.
$3.50.
So now... Apparently, yeah, for $3.50. But now a bunch of other stuff apparently is on like auto renew at the moment, and like a bunch of other stuff is starting trying to go through this morning, and it's all bouncing because my bank is locked down. It just won't accept payments from any merchants now. So like I have to reset a bunch of things. Like no, it's okay. You can try now. Go ahead. No, that card is legitimate. Like,
well, while you play around with that, I might just read over this week's patch notes.
Yes, please do.
I'm reasonable ones in there.
I'm just trying to tell Humble Bundle to chill out, and we're good.
These have been put in by Mod Porky this week. So first up, combat. Auto regenerate will no longer give you a message that it has failed to activate if no adrenaline is available. Ex-members in free-to-play worlds will no longer be able to use shield abilities whilst wielding a members-only shield. Prevented teleporting using a player-owned house-mounted Amulet of Glory on free-to-play worlds. Players can now use magic notepaper to note dark bows. Corrected main hand Blue-Right Sword's damage value. The Super Prayer Renewal buff will no longer display the wrong icon after the player teleports via a lodestone. Checking the special rewards within the beast tabs of the Adventurer's interface that you can get from a monster with many drops will no longer cause odd behavior when subsequently inspecting a monster with not that many drops. Secondary action bar keybinds will now function when the main action bar is minimized. The Ripper Demon jump mechanic will now consistently fire when they reach maximum adrenaline. Interfaces that grey and lock the use of keybinds will no longer show keybinds as available if the action bars are updated. And when looting Solak and rolling on the Torn Grimoire page drop table, you will have another chance to roll a second page. On to mining and smithing. Artisan's Workshop Respect Enhancer will now consume 1 charge and double the respect for each 0.25% respect earned when an item is made in the workshop. An ore box can now be used on a deposit box in a similar fashion to a spirit gem bag or coal bag to empty the ore's box content into your bank without depositing the ore box. The resourceful aura will once again display a text message if you've gained an extra crystal fleck or red sandstone when mining. Options to toggle off getting sedimentary, igneous, and metamorphic geodes has been added to the settings interface. So we can toggle off those, but we still can't toggle off spirit gems. Thanks, Jagex.
Never. I'm telling you, because they sell that gem at the Thaler store, that gem bag, they won't, because they want you to entice you into buying that bag.
I think it's because there's no other like resource of getting those spirit gems now.
But once I'm 120 and I've got enough to get me to 200 mil. I'm 150 mil, I think, in summoning. I don't want to see them anymore. In progress, smithing items can now be used on forges to heat them up instead of displaying the nothing interesting happened. The hit points of lower gem rocks have been reduced in line with earlier fixes to Prifdonous gem rocks. Mining crablets will no longer deplete Sanima, so they can be mined AFK. Their hit points have been lowered, so the crablet is typically mined in a little under 5 minutes. The XP from mining the crablets has been reduced to compensate. And fixed an empty cell in the mining skill guide. Onto items. Players will now receive a unique message when damage-reducing items, such as Defenders or War Priest armor procs from the environment damage. Why did that give me that? Oh, it's okay. Master Skill Keepsake overrides will now consistently stay active when logging into a free-to-play world. Issues causing players to not be able to reclaim their family crest gloves have been resolved. The Shadow Gem Battle Axe override now appears in the axes filter rather than daggers. Diango has thrown out the Fleshy Apartment Bingo card. An issue causing some players to not be able to combine the Death, Law, and Blood ethereal pieces has been fixed. The Divinomatic Vacuum is now always lost on death. And the Flame Sword enchantment no longer appears on Swagger Stick at all, as it was causing issues. And obviously the controversial one, the Divine. But as we said, it's probably a very good update for the game. We'll find out in about 12 months' time.
Yeah, give it 6 to 8 months. Let the prices rise.
Exactly.
Get those incandescent energy prices back up to where they used to be, so I can go AFK again.
Get them off Talus's drop table as well. That'll help.
Yeah. tell us. You know, he got kicked in the nuts once this year.
You want to wait till next year to do it again?
Yeah. Once a year is enough. We'll bring the beast down. Poor RS guy. I feel bad for him. He's having a rough year.
Some grammatical oddities around the Glory Sea have been resolved. A typo in the dialogue with the Jungle Foresters has been fixed. Removed unnecessary comma from search a barrel outside the mill in Taveley clue scroll. Improved messaging when not having met the requirements to force a task with a Slayer mask. The forward and back tooltips on the quest interface are now translated. Updated the login message for Posty Pete when he has lost property that you can claim to include that it can be obtained from the letter to avoid confusion when Posty Pete has left. Phil and Delphi will have something to say once the I know, Philadelphia. I did get a chuckle out of that. I thought it was quite funny. Phil and Delphi will have something to say once the post-quest content is completed after the new Chef's Assistant quest. They were oddly quiet beforehand. And corrected some grammar inconsistencies on combined teleport items to state 1 charge remaining rather than 1 charges and 2 remaining charges, etc.
I just read DX's comments, sorry.
Mage runs up to tell us Poppy Hill style, yelling, "That's my purse! I don't..." Tell us in the nads.
I love King of the Hill. Sorry, go ahead, continue.
Oh, is that King of the Hill? Is it? No, I didn't get that. So, mobile changes. They've changed position of text floor in Dungeoneering floor sector interface. Tweaked Dungeoneering floor section interface to make it clearer. Fixed an issue that blocked the quest accept screen from being displayed for the morning's end quest, meaning the quest could not be started on mobile. Various user interface improvements and bug fixes found after the launch of player-owned ports interface reskin. The icons for Gunpowder and Black Slate have been corrected. Previously they had been swapped. The captain's log once again defaults to ship status when opened. Move some text on ship interface in the voyage information at the bottom. Move the crew information to the right-hand side so you can still see resources. The crew drop-down is now taller, so the information fits better inside the frame. Made text boxes bigger on ship parts to improve visibility. Moved 3D captain's head down 10 pixels into the crew roster's interface. Added a divider line in the voyage frame to separate the name of the voyage from the information. And resized the voyage interface down slightly.
So, has anyone seen the new player import interface?
Yep.
No.
Yep, I do it every day.
No.
Okay, so they changed where the close button is for your crew when you're sitting out voyages. They swap them between crew roster and close.
Yep.
I have not seen that interface in 2 or 3 years, and I was super confused when they hit.
Yeah, I know. When I first opened, I'm going, hang on, what did I do when I first opened it? Because it's not opening to the
What? They just switch buttons around?
Yep.
Yeah,
just
it clearly was not intentional, it was a mistake, but it's just so bizarre. Because it's a new interface to begin with, and then you get stuck in a place you haven't seen it in years.
I love it.
It was. I mean, it looks good. I mean, I'm sort of starting to get used to it now, and it does look better. But it's just because I was just so used to the old one for so long, and just click. I'm going, hey, hang on, and you got to sit there and look at it. And when you first opened it, it went to your resources, not the voyages, and just all sorts of things. But anyway, they fixed a lot of those back up, which is good. Anyway, on to other fixes. Corrected a quest giver NPC focus issue that prevented the Pieces of Hate and Spirit of Summer quests from being started. Players will now be able to use their player-owned house butler to escort guests to their throne room. Twitch Prime packages will no longer be delivered in Stealing Creation. Updated the colour on the message from cyan to blue when catching a blue wisp in the Wisps of the Grove D&D. Changed the message to inform players they have chopped some bamboo rather than logs. Players will inform Amanishi Maui that she will be taken to Waco instead of Amanishi. The options menu in Legacy interface mode will now close when using the escape key. The event tab on the community interface is now correctly appears locked during the event downtimes. Get rid of that is. Someone needs to read these before they post them because it does confuse me sometimes. An issue where players wouldn't be correctly assigned to a team during Stealing Creation, which would then disconnect them every time they were killed, has been fixed. Renamed a timer in Death's Office. The screen will no longer fade to black when trying to enter the cave on White Wolf Mountain on a free-to-play world. A frog spawn fishing spot in the Lumbridge Swamp Cave has been moved to a more appropriate location than it was previously. The tooltip for the Redemption Prayer now mentions its prayer point draining effect. Added some of the latest quests to the featured tab on the Adventurer's interface. Players should now correctly be able to call follower pets that are stored or appear in the player-owned house menagerie via the customizations interface. After completing the Elder Kiln and Brink of Extinction quest, you can now reclaim the quest's combat lamp from Zar-Mej J, Zar-Mej Ak in the Tar City Plaza if you destroy it. Added chocolate cake to a Tale of Two Cats quest overview required items section. Made a change to Shattered Worlds that should stop rifts from spawning on inaccessible tiles. Added checks that have been implemented to try and minimise or eliminate the chance for clues to swap progress in the same clue. There is now confirmation when entering a deathmatch lobby via the Edgeville PvP hatch. Celebration lamps now have a use all interface enabled. That's good, because that was always annoying having to do them all separately.
Right.
Fixed an issue where null was appearing when using Peak's Lodestone keyboard. You liked the null, didn't you?
Null is my god. I gotta write a story about null for RuneScape today. I have an actual story.
You told it on the show once.
Yeah, it's
He appeared all the time in classic.
yeah, it's my
Yeah.
because I was like 12, I was dumb and I thought it was a moderator, and it was like my god, and I chased Null religiously. But yeah, I have a huge story about how I worshipped Null, and and then I found a character named Null who named themselves, actually Null, and I thought they were, yeah. He played me big time, that guy. Anyway.
Board summoning pouches and skull. Sorry, no.
No, continue on. I didn't know there was more. Continue.
Yeah. Brought summoning pouches and skull trading interface up to standard. Updated the magic spellbook for visual consistency with other icons of the same type, like those found on the ribbon. Scan clue scrolls will now reopen again when leaving a carpet ride. Block tiles in the Earth Altar have been removed. Using clue scrolls on Zeta now allows you to downgrade more than one clue scroll at a time up to the normal cap of 25 clues of their target tier. And as we said earlier, that's one for you, DX. You can change all those master clues, downgrade them to all the elites for you. We fixed inverted checks on 6 hard clue scrolls, which, if you now have the requirements for them, will appear when doing hard clues. The details are: riddle for General Bentnose, must have completed Dragon Slayer. The riddle for Lord Iworth, you must have completed the Underground Past. Riddle for the crossword in etc. Must have completed the Fremenic Trials. The riddle for Shadows of Morton, you must have access to Mauritania. The riddle for Shiloh Village requires the Shiloh Village access. And the riddle for the Range Guild requires level 40 plus range. And of course, we got our standard first post by Blackwing, and everyone once again getting stuck into him. And I think next week we should have in the patch notes by Mod Shawnee, Blackwing will be banned from posting on the patch notes. And that is it. So anyway, tell us your story about Null that you're going to...
I may have a more interesting story to tell you.
So they didn't mention the treasure hunter key in the patch notes at all.
No, that little like I didn't even know.
It's just funny that like something obvious was just avoided.
And we have added the treasure hunter key icon on the bottom of your inventory to easy access to buy more keys. And also, don't forget today we had the pop up. I haven't seen any rage about it yet, but. The 100% more keys. I was waiting to see all the rage about that.
Wait, it's not on Mage's icon. What's going on here?
What?
So you're supposed to have like a treasure hunter key in your inventory now, like in the where your currency pouch is. Yours is missing.
Next to
What are you talking about?
The treasure hunter key. So you've got down at the bottom of your inventory, invention pouch, currency pouch, treasure hunter key, wealth evaluator, and your price checker. You don't have it on your
price checker. I see my price checker. What am I supposed to have?
You should have a treasure hunter key down there now as well, so you can just open up easily.
Oh, maybe because maybe it's too small. Maybe the window's too small.
I don't think so. I think it's just maybe it's not for all players still. I thought it was. I thought they updated that Monday.
That's weird.
It doesn't bother me. It's just a little box down there. Who really cares?
What date is today? 24th.
Today is the 22nd for you.
All right. Yeah. All right. I'm still having bank issues here. I'm trying to figure out. So I apologize. I'm like trying to figure out what these records are.
That's okay.
Yeah. I apologize. It's like stressing me out. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. I have a story that I wanted to read here.
Excellent.
This is called First Month in RuneScape 3 by Ducky Ducks.
That's what I was just about to open and read while you were doing it, so that's good. Go for it.
It's called Hey to My Favorite Community. I've been playing RuneScape 3 for just over a month, and all I can say is wow, what a game! I originally came to try it after playing old school RuneScape for about a month or so until the nostalgia wore off. I wanted something the same but different, if you know what I mean. First off, the games are incomparable. Old school RuneScape has its own unique nostalgia-filled wonder. However, for me, it lacks drive. The combat skill required is just a little underwhelming for me. Mostly safe spotting or tick manipulation, which can get repetitive to say the least. Whereas the combat system in RuneScape 3 is so engaging. There's many different roads to take. Different enemies are very noticeably weaker to certain styles, and I love it. I find myself gearing significantly perfect for certain things and loving every second of the fight. Second of all, the renowned grindiness that RuneScape is. While old school RuneScape, you really feel like you earn your levels. Each one is hellishly worse than the next. And that is... I'm sorry, one second. And that was all and well and great while I was in school and had the time, my social life being non-existent. However, with RuneScape 3, it's not quick and far from it, but more rewards while leveling and being more engaging. Just doing the mining and smithing rework blew me away, and it feels not punishing that I can play very casually and still progress at a comfortable level. That I don't need to be spending 10 hours a day to just get an awesome new reward with the addition of master skill capes, and which I want badly, still give players who do want to do the grind big time a goal to achieve. I'm not a veteran of RuneScape by any means. I got my first 99 ever 2 weeks ago. I just think this game should not be put on as much as old school RuneScape community does. If there are any veterans of the RuneScape community that are reading this right now, I'd love if you could give me any advice on combat, skilling, or just more great things on this game, as I feel like I've barely scratched the surface. Anyone feel free to message me in game. Ducky Ducks. So that's pretty cool. Someone who's actually excited.
Who's come over from old school and likes this game better.
I've seen a lot of these actually.
I'm starting to see more and more of them now.
Yeah.
Where they're saying, "Oh yeah, actually, you are right about this." What I did love, I mean, my exact thoughts as well about the combat. I hated combat in old school, or when I first started RuneScape, combat was really boring. Slayer and all that was really boring to me. And then, but after sort of EOC, it became my favorite skill because it was, you were sitting there trying to work out things. It was more involved. There was more participation in it. So, I really love what he says here and sort of agree with just about everything he says.
Yeah, I do as well. I do as well. That was a
Ducky Duck. If you're listening, jump on the RuneScape Weekly podcast every week and come and join us. And
I was gonna say, if this was not like a bad, I'm gonna open the real post here. Leave a link. Maybe he'll maybe he'll like the podcast.
Tell him to come in and join us and come and join the clan. You can guest in the clan anytime and pick up ideas. We've got a lot of helpful people in there.
Is this a new one? Let me pull this post open here. Is it time to play? Is it real world trading?
I think that's one we had last week.
I think it is. I always like those though. Those were always fun. I gotta move all these old ones out of the pile here. Why Jagex not suing real world trading sites?
Yeah, that was a funny one.
Yeah. Like, come on. Really? You don't know why? What are your thoughts on an Iron Man only world? Any thoughts on that?
Why?
Yeah, what's the point, right?
Why? I mean, why? So you don't get PK'd? I mean, that's part of the risk of doing it, sadly. Especially now with mining and such, where you don't have to fight people for all the ores and things. You make an Iron Man for the challenge. Don't make it. I mean, they've watered it down enough. You don't need it easier by having Iron Man only worlds. If we do that, let's make PK only worlds where wilderness is safe except for those PKing worlds.
Right.
Let's not get into all that type of stuff.
Right. What's up with the equipment separator here? Is there any chance to reduce the number and required components for equipment separator in future updates? Ethereal components are really rare to obtain, and getting 35 for a separator is really annoying. Or at least make it so we can trade or sell them on the Grand Exchange. Says Azunai. Thoughts? I say... No, well, I say... Go f yourself. No, I mean, like, they're rare for a reason. They're not, they weren't supposed to be in the first place. They were a compromise item.
What was that?
Equipment separators. They were brought into the game to appease players, basically, who made mistakes for, or like, put a really rare gizmo on an item, and then we're like, oh, I really want to put this on something else now, and you know, if you want to take something that rare out of something, you can afford 25, 35, whatever ethereal components.
Exactly.
Like, come on. That's my thoughts, at least.
Yep, no, I agree. I mean, that's, you know, you don't want people just making one of it and then swapping it onto every weapon every time. I mean,
it's not supposed to be
the
easy,
whole
Street.
idea. Exactly. It's you make a mistake, or okay, I've been doing mage for all this time. I've got to get my range up, so I'm going to take it off there because, you know, I'm just going to concentrate on range for the next 6 months. That's why you do that type of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not a thing you're going to swap daily. If you want to do that, go and get it again and put it on the new weapon.
What about the sad truth that Fortnite is still the top battle royale? Still the top battle royale, despite Apex's success.
I'm not surprised. It has a kid market, which is very hard to like get into.
I hate Fortnite. I don't hate it. I just don't like it.
Because all little kids play it, and that's you know, they do their little dance thing.
It's too fast paced. You know? It's like just colors and flashing lights and explosions and building everywhere. How do you do anything? It's just it's too much. Apex actually has like something going on. Only problem with Apex, in my opinion, is it's too team coordinated. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf mainly because none of my friends are coordinated enough to be online at the same time. It's like we all live in drastically different time zones. So it's like I'm over here in the Eastern time zone. Hannah lives in her own time zone, and then the RR man lives down in down there. Computer, what time is it in New Zealand?
New Zealand's 2 hours ahead of me, 5:34 a.m.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's Saturday over there, and it's 3:40 something in the morning. Yeah, so
5:34 because I'm 3:34. They're
Gotcha.
2 hours. Yeah, they're 2 hours ahead of me.
Gotcha. That sucks. Yeah, so it's like my Apex team is all over the place, and nobody wants to like coordinate. And I have a PlanetSide team, but they want to play from 9 to 11 at night, and that's when I'm a zombie. And like, I can do that, but I'm not going to be the best. I'm going to be kind of, bad. And I want to be good. I want to be a good player. It's like I'm the best from 9 to 12. Those are my peak performance hours.
Do you know Trip Hawkins is?
I've heard the name. But...
Okay, there's a post in here because we were talking about Jagex being sold before. If Trip Hawkins bought Jagex, This is by Ojoin Emo. Would you guys be happy or mad if Trip Hawkins bought Jagex? For those of you who don't know this already, Trip Hawkins is the founder of Electronic Arts.
Oh, God.
By the way, if anybody here dislikes EA, he left the company in 1994, so he clearly has not had anything to do with the modern-day EA.
That's right. He was
If
the
anybody,
one... Go ahead, I'll let you finish.
If anybody here is old enough to remember this, and I know this is just my opinion, but I believe the old EA games were a lot better than the newer ones.
He's the one that built like the Rockstar culture of EA games, if I remember correctly. He's the one who was into giving the developers actual kind of credit for the games that were being created, actually picturing the artists and treating the games more as releases on vinyl, like you would treat records and stuff. But I could be wrong. I remember him. He treated it more like art, hence electronic arts. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I go with Thunder Jinx here. You can't have faith in anyone wanting the best for the game. People making investments and buying companies want to maximize return on investments.
Yeah.
If it's not a game he has, he sort of put anything into himself other than just financial.
He just unless you
he's
love
there for the money. Yeah. The only ones you would want to buy the game for best for the game would be the Gower brothers again if they wanted to buy it back. But obviously, honestly, they're not going to.
There is no way to run a game like this unless you want to lose money. You have to make money unless you want to lose money. That is just the objective fact of how reality works. So
that's right.
This game either needs to make money or lose money. What's it going to be?
Yep. We want it to make money because we want it to here for the next 15 years, It starts losing money, it's gonna be gone in 3 years' time. And and that's the sad thing with no one likes MTX, but it is something that it needs to be there to ensure the health of the company. People have bills to pay. I mean, no one at Jag, none of their 427 employees work for free.
No.
And MTX is not here to sabotage the game. It's here for a legitimate reason.
That's right.
Did you guys see the Temple Omnishi, or not Temple Omnishi, the Elite Division 3 stuff?
No,
I have not actually watched the stream for it yet.
Last week's stream. Yes, I did watch that. Sorry.
Yeah, this week's stream was a showcase of Elite Dungeon 3, actual walking through it, showing off 2 of the bosses, and all the art direction and audio stuff they had.
Did they
show? Really good.
Did they show off bosses?
The audio was awesome. Yes.
Is it tell me about it.
It looks basically it's a remodel of the Titan.
Okay, I'm popping open. I have TLDW open for Laura Art Studio.
Yeah, it was actually what I loved about it, and tell me what you thought with when they were showing the bosses and such, where they just had the boss and just showing you its moves and things without actually fighting or anything like that. I thought that was really well done. So they gave us a real good taste of what it looks like, how it moves and things, but without any mechanics there, so no one can sort of sit there and try and work out how to fight it before they first go in there.
I'm looking at the Crassi and Leviathan's pictures right now, just its concept stages, to watching it get textured.
Someone did a really good art piece on it, like the day after, 2 days after, just on the spot. I think I can find it. It's really good.
Yeah, if you can find it, send it over.
Yeah, here we go.
I will put
if you want to drop the TLDW, if you're going to read that out in the...
Yeah, I can put it up on... Put it in general chat there.
Yep.
Here's Bossy McBossface. Oh, goodness.
I just sent you the artwork that someone did.
Okay. All right. That's nice. Who? I have to. Okay. I don't know.
Let me get the Reddit user.
Majinsky? I'm having a hard time saying
Stop
that name.
swearing at me.
Agency, I think it's.
Majinsky? It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I certainly can't say it. I'm trying to display it on screen here. Yeah.
It was funny though when they're going down there. There's still dead bodies falling, from the quest. There's still dead bodies floating down around the city.
Good. That's how I like it.
Huge area too that they've made this again.
Yeah?
Hmm.
Nice. I'll just leave my main monitor up for a minute.
Yeah, but it was awesome that they did that within like less than 72 hours for sure.
I would love to use this, make a RuneScape weekly background out of this, with their permission.
I do know they're going to release some wallpapers on Monday as well from the stream stuff. Have that to look forward to.
Yeah, if they're going to release official wallpapers, I'll just wait for those and not steal somebody's.
Yeah, no, they said that. It's I mean, again, it's going to be the hardest one of all of them.
Alright, let's see what do we got here. So, this is just mainly an art process. Elite Dungeon Special Lore, Art, and Audio. So the release date is Monday. Divided into 3 distinct environment areas.
If I could say on those environment areas as well, it starts off light, and as you go sort of deeper, the environment darkens, so it's like you're going lower into the ocean. Yeah, the sun stops sort of filtering down and things like that. It looks really good.
Nice.
And I would say like the size of this is probably like the same size as like Elite Dungeon 1 in terms of like scope.
You have no idea how many tabs I can handle. This is nothing. It's going to use the grouping system as we would expect. 16 total mini bosses, 4 mini bosses per dungeon, 5 in Spotlight. There's a Spotlight mechanic, of course. Death Touch darts do work, but you don't get a kill count or any achievements. There's an Eldritch crossbow, which
looks sexy.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty. It comes in many different colors?
Well, no, it's the
just the dyes.
Oh, okay. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Shadow looks really good, and I think Blood does as well.
Yeah, they all.
The
look
shadow,
cool.
the shadow was that like purpley one, wasn't it? The one they showed last.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Got them all going. Oh yeah, I got them all going on screen here. But the purple one does look the most badass in my opinion. Well, no, you know what? The ice one looks pretty cool too. And
yeah, it looks like a Saren crossbow with the ice.
The blood one would look really cool with the dungeoneering like primal armor as well.
What it doesn't show there though is they've got like a sort of the flows like a water flow on it. So
Yeah.
Is
Is this a T92 crossbow? I'm assuming.
Yes.
T92. Yep.
I kind of want this. I am broke though. This is pretty.
It also has
it's going to be max cash anyway.
Yeah. Oh, read the special attack. You'll love.
Alright, let's get back into the document. Eldritch crossbow, inventory icons and stats. We don't need to look at that right now. Sends purple animation icons and deals 4 times the damage it would heal with Soul Split. When the first mentioned thought it was overpowered, but it was actually underpowered. When you remove your weapon, the effect is removed. So it does Soul Split for you?
No. So when you do Soul Split, it'll turn those like white particles or those beams, whatever, to purple. And instead of healing you, it will damage the enemy.
Oh, it's
based on
so it does damage 4 times what it would have healed you.
Right.
Yes.
And it's actually like the Reaper necklace and things of that nature.
Oh, okay.
Or not Reaper necklace.
So you become like a DOT machine.
Pretty much, yeah. And as Blakecom said, whatever your final buff is after everything, that's when it adds the full pipes.
Okay.
They said it where they say it was actually underpowered, so it was pretty good. But apparently at Virago, it's going to be really, really good at Virago, they said.
Oh, so David will love it.
It's gonna be good for like Temple and Emanishi too. Like when you're fighting the black crystals, because you're not really needing the heal. You can just now deal extra damage and kill it faster. Like there's a lot of good situational things for this.
Good to hear.
But what was good about it as well, so you can't sort of weapon switch, put it on, get that effect, then switch back to your mage or whatever, because as soon as you take it off, that split soul effect stops.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh yeah, I got you.
Hmm.
So it doesn't stay; it immediately ends.
Yeah.
The Blackstone arrow is a new arrow type. I assume that is for this bow, crossbow.
Yep.
Actually, it's not. It's for regular bows.
Oh, it's for every bow. Okay.
So this is a crossbow. It's used for bows. It's just for like now you can use it for I think the Saren God bow for whatever reason. Like you just have it on. I think they have an effect, but we don't know what it is.
All right. Thank you for the correction. Pets and titles. Ambi, the cutest threat to Gillinor's existence we've ever seen. And Bizdeep, an atrocity of the Blackstone Call City. Monstrosity of tenacity, ferocity, and animosity of ferocity should not pique your curiosity of adorable though.
Great listening to Mod Shawnee try and do that.
Did I do better than Mod Shawnee?
No. He actually did it really well on that. He actually got it out.
Damn it. He probably practiced a bunch. First time I ever saw it. So here we have the pets here. Oh, it's a pretty cool pet. Got that. And we got that. 2 pets. Alright. The Blackstone title will be removed on launch until you have the new pet. This was decided for the sake of consistency after discussing the Amulet of the Forsaken with the Barrows title. So then they have art process down here. Wallpapers are coming out Monday alongside the update. Initial concept art of the 3 areas were the Coral area, the Ulfenben area, Ulfenkra, I don't know, whatever, and the Abyssal Depths. The area is an extension of the Pieces of Hate environment, but descends further down. Different types of concept art are made for different teams. Gameplay concept can help the environment artists and game designers work together, make a prototype boss area, and explore storytelling within the environment. Production prices with side views and 3D modelers. None of this, nor does 90% concept art come into the game, but it allows us to discuss ideas and moods. So a lot of this is just for them to kind of get ideas and brainstorm. So a lot of this is, not final, but damn is it pretty. So what we're looking at right now is concept art, basically, is what they're trying to say.
Yeah, what I did love when they were talking about the concept of the 3 areas, Corallia, Ulfen, Kriath, and Abyssal Depth, they wanted to call it just the Abyss, but because, bottom of the ocean, the Abyss, but they had to go Abyssal Depths because of, obviously, the Abyss already being in-game.
Yeah, makes sense. Man, and I just saw Aquaman, so this is
Oh, how did you enjoy it?
I loved it. It was great.
Yeah. For a start, I mean, no real storyline, but
no, not at all. I saw it with my dad too, so it was a great father-son movie.
Yeah, I took my son. My son took me to see it, and I just he was just perfect for that role. I was really worried because when I saw him, I thought, hang on, Aquaman's blonde. What is big, long-haired, dark-haired guy doing it? But
you go into it with no expectations.
Perfect.
It was great. Yeah. I loved it, and I love DC movie. Like I love DC comics. Like it was it was great. But I don't care what anyone says.
DC comics to movies
they generally suck.
They do, and this was probably the best DC in a long time.
Yeah, I'm very proud that they. Yeah, because I'm glad that they pulled their shit together. Yeah, people were shitting on Aquaman. I think it was good.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm glad that they. I hope they do. I'm supposed to see another movie next month. I'm not sure what to see, but anyway, yeah. Back to this shit.
Yeah.
This is good shit too. This is like the Elite Dungeon 3 where you go into the depths, I'm assuming. It's like some
Yes.
swirly whirlpool. This is pretty cool. This is awesome. I can't wait for this. I'm probably gonna suck, but I'm gonna have fun doing it.
Now the swirly whirlpool, the bottom left that you're
Yep.
looking at,
Yep.
like they didn't show. They showed the arena, but that pool wasn't there. So I'm guessing it's like going to be a special attack of his.
Yeah, that's where.
But it looks
Aquaman fought.
really good.
Yeah. Okay. That's that area kind of looks like the end boss fight from Pieces of Hate, only modified. Next to the swirly whirlpool to the right. Wonder what.
Yeah.
Anyway. Good stuff. Good stuff. Moving along. Characters. So they have the first boss is the Crassian Leviathan. The texture, I'll take a look at it. It's saying the texture is shaded, so we have the different steps of shading here.
Sorry, I just want to... Killer Bunny said, it's going to be a stalling mechanic that makes the fight stop for 20 seconds just to irk a lot of PVMers. So it's another it's another stalling mechanic that they put in that they weren't going to do any more of.
Did they really? Is he joking or for real?
Oh, I'm not. I would.
I think he's.
Killer Bunny, I think he's probably right.
The texture is shaded at the back to give the impression of a larger creature because you can only see the head. Gives the impression of coming out of a murky depth of the sea with spotlight shining on the head. Came up with the mechanics in an hour as addressing it being melee friendly or melee meta. Amazing concept art that can't be shared. Its heads looked like phallic. It was pornographic. Kind of sounds similar to the ailing sea monster, huh?
A bit phallic in its
So next up was Taraket the Necromancer is the second boss here, which is there's no concept, he's secret for the moment. And it says the fight is exciting, but his imagery isn't overly amazing. He's our customary recolor of elite dungeons. Each dungeon has one. The Ambassador is the third boss. We've all seen the Ambassador, but we'll pop it open. It was challenging to design his chest. Squid tentacle details on the exterior piece. Let's pop it open here. So we have some graphics of the unshaded, and then it breaks in to see like specular, normal maps. Then you see the topology. And then you see does it got I don't even know what that's called, and then. This is I think it's actually textured in this one. Pretty nice. And then fully textured. Fully textured. He's all pretty. He's got a big gaping maw in the middle of him. Probably don't want to stick your hand in there. There's no prizes. And then Bossy McBossface. He's a mini boss. Basically a retextured Black Knight Titan with new weapons and new looks. Well, his weapons are Masty McMastface, a sword McSwordface.
Swordy McSwordface,
sorry.
that should be.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he's typed in sword, but it was Swordy McSwordface. And
Okay.
It was funny because Shawnee turned and goes, "Oh, you're joking, aren't you?" And Raven turned around, "Nope, you want to call the boss Bossy McBossface? I can call those things whatever I want." So they're actually the names that he's gone with. Everyone thought it was just a joke, but no, Raven has chosen those names for the weapon.
Listen, you give Raven you give Raven an inch, she'll take a mile.
Yeah, that's it.
Character model airs. It takes 3 to 4 weeks to design, start to finish, not including concept art. We use ZBrush for sculpting. Plain render best represents the final sculpt before textures. This is what goes into the game with less detail. Normals, text map with the game engine reads, can generate lighting information like casting shadows. Topology, poly mesh, lower poly counts are efficient. Keeps it simple for animation and everything. Albedo unwrapped it to create a 2D texture map pattern so we can paint it and project back to the model. Animations. Ambassador animations. Ambassador is pretty complicated, especially the chest area. So let's take a look. He has an idle animation apparently. Let's pop it open here. So here he is floating around, doing his thing. Yeah, he's doing his thing there. Yep, it's nice. So idle. He has an extra idle animation as well. Simple thing to get a sinister, evil vibe across. Apparently. Oh yeah. Look at him. He type. I don't know. Tiddling his fingers there. Yep. It won't play all the time. It's rare apparently. So if you're just idling around, apparently he'll tap his fingers. He has a magic attack. Effects were removed for this, and there's some minor clipping. We wanted to show him really pushing out his energy. We were experimenting with shaking body parts using Maya scripts. So let's take a look at that, shall we? So here he is, just doing his thing.
Yeah,
it was funny. Mod Shawnee actually found a little fault in it here, and they were, we'll get that fixed before release on Monday. So
yeah, nice. All right. Special attack by making him stall in the air and come back down quickly. It adds more power. There he goes. He's doing his little thing. Jumps up. Does like a little plie. I think he's a ballerina. Cool. And he's got some more animations, apparently. He has an idle animation. Needed to find the right rig to make him snaky. So this is the Leviathan being all snaky coming out of his ship. Yep. He's like that new robot that snakes around on the ground. He has a Leviathan attack. It's hard to find a real-life reference, but we managed to combine two creatures for reference. And here is Leviathan doing an attack. It's like that gecko that does his little wrap out with his wings and then...
frilled neck lizard. It's an Australian lizard.
Yeah, thank you. And then we also have the Leviathan's death, where we tried to capture his weight, hang in the air, and shake the ground when he falls on it. He doesn't really die. He just gets scared and goes back in his hole, because this is RuneScape. Ship clipping isn't part of the actual environment. There you go. All right. Audio. There are 9 music tracks, 2 voiced bosses, 11 voiced mini-bosses, and NPC environment audio. As far as the music tracks go, 2 music tracks for each area, 1 music track for each audio boss. That's not a thing. For each boss. Magement, words. Each music track is tied to a map square. The three areas have a consistent thread all the way through, but with defining elements to each area. Lovely little floaty sounds when you get there, but you are reminded when you are there because you are on a mission. They all have this orchestra swelling that takes place. Music tracks are named after the pelagic tones. The pelagic zones of the ocean. Epelagic, mesopelagic, bathopelagic, besopelagic, and hagipelagic. We made up.
Well done.
Thank you. We made up the 6th, dragopelagic, the dragon canaria. Music. I can't say freaking like the 2 music tracks, but I can say those words. Music was inspired by a trip to the Bristol Aquarium where they played an ambient sympho-wavy music. Music tracks. That's my jam. I want to go there. That sounds cool. Music tracks. Epiphylagic. Very first thing you are going to hear when you're starting the game or dungeon. Is this something we get to hear? Am I going to load up on Twitch? I'll pause my music, I suppose. Ooh. Sounds.
It's actually quite tragic music for this. Wow.
Ooh.
You are playing a repeated animation of a poor eel thing dying.
That's pretty cool. And they have the Hadopelagics, the start of the area. Load it up. Dun, 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 dun.
So this is in an irregular time signature. It's a lot more kind of it's more intense kind of.
Next up is the end game when they summon the Blackstone summons. Like Marshani's face.
There's some gifs of him.
I retweeted one of them.
Yeah. Like,
Heffen and Myla are up for Fifth Hour, if anyone's interested.
Yep. Right at my hard stop. Unfortunately. But, there's a few sound effects and some voices as well. But,
the voices were phenomenal.
should I put them on real quick?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll put them on real quick.
The mini bosses by Mod Mouse.
Let the veil fall. Embrace the master's gift.
Wow, okay. That was straight to the point.
We've got this is Mod Dio here. This one.
Our will shall not be denied.
So these guys are doing some really good.
I hope these guys are aware that they may get tweets later on like, "Oh, we just listened to this audio." They won't be completely caught out of the blue. That's about.
Well, it was really nice of them. They were quite excited to get involved and and give it a go. Really, a lot of them hadn't done it before. This one's me.
You crash blindly through in a desperate attempt to stop a plan you don't even understand.
How?
The mini bosses by Mod Mouse.
Let the veil fall. Embrace the master's gift.
Wow, okay. That was straight to the point.
We've got this is Mod Dio here. This one.
Our will shall not be denied.
So these guys are doing some really good.
I hope these guys are aware that they may get tweets later on like, "Oh, we just listened to this audio." They won't be completely caught out of the blue. That's about.
It was really nice of them. They were quite excited to get involved and and give it a go. Really, a lot of them hadn't done it before. This one's me.
You crash blindly through in a desperate attempt to stop a plan
Okay,
you
that's enough of
don't
that.
even.
Anyway, I am going to switch back over to here now. So, where are we at? We want to pick a closing topic here. You want to pick a closing topic?
What have we got? Is there? I put something in there, but I think it's more discussion one, not really a closing one. Let's see if there's anything else interesting. There's nothing really much in. Everyone just asking things about Double XP weekend. JagX okay with plagiarism. Let's see what this one says.
Let me search through mine as well. I got kind of blindsided at the end of the the end of the show with that. I apologize.
Oh, there's one. I'm pretty unknown around these parts, but something caught my eye on the most recent article update. There's a list of art winners from the 18th birthday competition, but the particular piece of art they have listed is almost an exact copy of another one. I mean, it's cool to have a shout out by Jagex, but wouldn't this be plagiarism? Whoever selected should have checked to make sure it was actually original.
All right.
but
Is
people
it-
are saying, well, it's similar, but
Is
it's
it a
like
print? Like, what is it? What is it exactly? Like, what are we talking about? Is it an item? Like, what are they?
No, someone's done like a no. How could you call that plagiarism?
What is it? I missed.
You know that that all those little pixel picture that you loved.
Yes. What about it?
Yes. Well, someone's saying that they've copied someone else, but if you look at the actually, I'll pop it in.
Yeah. Okay.
Copy. Oh no, what am I doing? I just need to.
I need to be the judge here. I'm the final judge and jury of this. That will end.
So someone's Nexus Origin has put a if you go down towards the bottom, he's got the reveal pictures so you can actually see them both.
All right, where am I looking? Whoop.
So I've just put it in. Oh, I didn't. Here, let me just copy it into chat. Copy.
I need a blind emote. I need an emote artist to make me a mage blind emote. Okay. All right. So let me see here. So, pretty unknown artist these parts, but I caught my eye in the most recent updated article. There's an artist. All right. So let me pop this one open here, right? All right. So that's that. Okay, I've seen this image before. Okay, cool. And then the one that won RuneScape, which I saved on my computer because it's so effing cool. Hang on. And like they made it, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's probably taken
Inspiration from it.
Inspiration, yeah, exactly. But it's not a direct ripoff.
Yeah, shove it up here.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I could say is unless they literally cut pieces from this, if they cut pieces from this image and put it in their image, I have a problem with that. If they drew it one for one, I have no problem with that. As long as it's their hand copying it, there's no problem with that.
That's it.
That's my only thing. But if they took a program that like Photoshop or Paint.net, shout out, then I have an issue. Anyway, on that note, Predasius, do you have any interest in doing this again tomorrow, by any chance?
Certainly do. I've basically told the kids I'm booked out this weekend.
Righto. Okay, so plans are to continue the double XP weekend extravaganza throughout the weekend, if possible, as long as possible. All are invited. BladeCom, if you're around, you are also invited as well.
Thank you.
Love to have you around. So we will be doing this. I might even come back later this evening if I have the time, or the energy, rather. I'm definitely going to be here. Who am I kidding? It's more just that I'll have the energy. So I'm going to go do some errands, and then I will be back here. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will throw on a rerun of all of what we just did right now. And happy scaping. Happy double XP scaping.
Happy games, all.
Take care. Good luck with double XP.